is brought to you by PIMCO, a global leader in active fixed income.
Markets and embrace the possibilities of data and technology that will reimagine our potential and transform society as we know it. Whatever your tomorrow is.
Hey guys, morning. Hey Peter, Greg, morning everybody. Happy Monday. I forgot what day it was because of the holiday last week. But yeah, happy Monday, guys. I'm ready to get started with our trades. Looks like our USD CHF from yesterday was correcting back down, and then it's just bouncing around due to the news. But let me go ahead and post this link round to all the groups, and then we can get started. I just got CNBC running right now, trying to figure out what's going to go on with US 30 because it's a huge spike right now. So we're going to go ahead and analyze that since that's what we're looking for first. I'm also going to turn on my alerts for US 30 so that we can follow that, once it gets started. Let me just pause this. There's no actual news going on right now. So let me go ahead and post this in all the groups, guys. And then once I get that all done, we can get started. But yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and then we can go ahead and take a look. See, dang, today's the 30th already. This year's flying by, guys. It's about to be December. It's been a great year so far for us overall with trading. Not sure how many of you guys have been with me since the beginning of the year, January 1st last year, but our results have just been insane. Like I've never tracked my trades like this, for a long-term period, and it's just been crazy what we've been able to produce like within a year. So I'm happy with our results for this year. I'm excited for next year as well. Let's see. Let me go ahead and post this up to everyone over here. Post it on the Facebook real quick. And for this session, guys, I'm probably going to, I'll let this run for a little bit. For this session, I'm probably going to go over the chart analysis as well because I didn't go over it yesterday. But I'll just keep this running for right now temporarily while I post up the
Thank you very much.
The links for everyone.
Our next guest is firmly in the trenches when it comes to distributing en masse a new vaccine. Life sciences company Avantor is involved in all parts of the supply chain, and CEO Michael Stubenfield joins us this morning. Michael, welcome. Good to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Good morning to you all.
All right, one last place, our Instagram. Let me get that on here real quick.
The profile of your company, mission critical products and services used by life sciences. I mean, talk about what else is involved other than developing the actual vaccine.
Yeah, we play a pretty prominent role here in bringing these vaccines to market.
All right, get this on the Instagram real quick.
Exposed to most, if not all, of the candidates that are being developed and sponsored, particularly by Operation Warp Speed. We're going to be engaged with our customers really from the early phase process development and R&D, and then we're able to support them all the way through that scale up clinical trials and ultimately in production of any approved vaccines that might come out of this.
Yeah, it's amazing when you think about, we can all remember back in the spring when a vaccine
is getting posted right now, so I think we're ready to go, guys. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll go ahead and take a look at the chat right now. I was just discussing with everyone the US 30 that we're looking at right now. So it's dropped down pretty heavy. I don't think it's going to continue dropping like too far. There was news just not too long ago about, let me see. There was news about 3 minutes ago, the Chicago PMI. I'm not sure if that's what causes this to drop so heavily. But yeah, we're gonna try to figure out some clues to see, you know, why that happened. I'm gonna go ahead and draw some lower zones over here. So if you guys are familiar with how I use the zones for US 30, I generally don't use them as rejection points with regard to the direction that price is moving. I usually, what's wrong with these? Am I using the wrong tool? Sorry, guys. Oh yeah, it does. Sorry, I was trying to draw a rectangle. So generally I draw these zones on the lower end because right now we have a sell signal. So the next signal is going to be a buy signal. So basically what I'm identifying right here, sorry guys, I keep clicking on the wrong tool. This rectangle tool right here. What I'm looking for here is, because since you're waiting for a buy signal, because right now we have a sell, next signal is going to be a buy, right? Basically, I'm going to identify these zones that are lower from where price currently is, because followed by this sell signal is likely going to be a buy signal. So right here, I'm waiting for this to come down, possibly, you know, way down here. And then we see a rejection like it does right here. You see this rejection? If we see this rejection off this point for a double bottom right here, and then it's followed by a buy signal similar to right here for London session, then we can anticipate that to shoot up even further. So that's what I'm waiting for right here on US 30. I do have my alert set up, so we'll wait and see how this plays out. But this is basically what I see happening here. This is probably going to drop to that point, and then we're probably going to be able to cash it right back up. And let me go ahead and draw these quarter points on the chart as well, so that we know, you know, where these critical price points are as we identify these trades. So let me see, 715, 500. Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. So what could happen here actually is price could come down to here. It could come down even further to this point, maybe test this structure down here, and then it's probably either going to reject from here or reject from here, and then we might get a buy signal. However, if it continues to drop further, say if we get an invalid buy signal, then we could probably go for a sell. So it could go both ways, but right now, currently, with how price is currently at this specific juncture, we're probably gonna be looking for a buy currently, but we'll see how that plays out. And then we'll play out from there. So let me go and check out the chat real quick. I know there's a lot of people that just joined. Nice, nice. So morning, Kushi, morning, John, morning, Victor, morning, Mark, morning, Active, morning, Guzman, morning, Chelsea, morning, Matt. Nice. Looks like everyone, you know, the normal crew is here today, ready to make some money this week. So you guys saw my analysis for US 30 right there. I'm pretty much just going to leave it alone for a bit, not really going to play around with it, because during this time, there's going to be a lot of manipulation, guys, because the market just opened for the week, and it was a holiday weekend. So there's a lot of you know, speculation going on as to the direction of price, especially since US 30 hit another high up here, you know, past 30,000, and that's probably why it like shot down. So it shot down, recovered from here, came from here. It's probably going to come back down here for that double bottom I just mentioned, and then probably shoot back up, because a lot of people are going to try to buy the dip, you know, especially during the holidays. People want to buy the dip because people have money during the holidays, and everyone's looking to get a discount. So I'm not too worried with how it dropped right now, but we'll see how it plays out in a bit. And we'll see how it plays out, because the thing is, price doesn't need to drop way down here. Okay, guys, the thing is, price can go from here, cross above here, we get a buy signal, and then we can take that buy signal up to there. However, if we get a buy signal, it's like right here, we're probably not going to take it, because what's going to happen here is it might come up, reject off this point, and just shoot back down, because I don't think there's enough momentum for it without some sort of rejection. So this is just rejecting off this open area right here. This might be considered some sort of support, but I don't think it's that strong. So I mean, we'll just play it by ear, and once we get that signal, we can analyze it further from there, guys. Morning, Andre. So like I mentioned earlier as well, I didn't go over the chart analysis yesterday because the market was just moving kind of weird and slow. So we're probably going to mix in the weekly chart analysis with this session, just so I can give you guys the zones. I already marked up the zones yesterday because I was looking up the charts, but I didn't go on live because, you know, obviously I was just looking for the trades. I wasn't trying to really analyze things too deeply due to it being Sunday and due to the news last night. Here's just USD CHF. It's looking fine. We can go ahead and take a look at our other positions here as well. So odd CHF never really recovered. I'm still in the trade, guys. So if you guys are still in the trade, it's fine. It might shoot back up. That I don't know, because it's a brand new week. When it's a brand new week, pairs generally either go in the opposite direction or they continue. Like for right here, odd CHF or odd CAD, we're bullish the past, let's see, maybe the past 2 or 3 weeks we're bullish, and then this week it's starting to come down. So I'm still in odd CHF. If you guys are still in it, it's fine if we lose that trade, because we've had a ton of wins for the past 2-3 months. So this is going to balance out. You can't be 100% every single time. And if you guys end up having a loss, just take the loss, because there's going to be other trades to make up for it. So here's odd Jpy. We're still in positive right here. I got out at TP2 right here for 20 pips. So I'm not sure if you guys are still in it, but I got out of this trade a long time ago. So just make sure to use the exit strategy. I've always recommended that you guys use it, especially with the current market conditions. You never know when price is going to reverse on you, especially during the holidays, and especially during all the COVID news that's coming out, specifically with the JPY pairs and CHF, since they're safe haven currencies. But let's go ahead and keep looking. Odd NZD, I was going to call this trade last night, but I didn't think it looked like a safe trade to take. So this closed right there, and then it's now in profit. So it's probably going to continue down further, but it's only been down about 10 pips. So this would have been an entry there. I didn't call it because it was Sunday and just because there was news last night, but it looks like it kind of would have played out a bit. Let's continue down further, odd USD. And if you guys want the zones, just let me know, because I've already drawn these zones for all the pairs last night when I was analyzing for the USD CHF call yesterday. So if you guys want to know the zones, just let me know and I'll let you know exactly what the zones are for that specific pair. So for odd USD right here, let me turn on the momentum indicator. For odd USD, it's not loading. Let's see. Let's give it a little more time. Okay, so right here we have a buy signal. So this is the same buy that we took last week. Price broke structure right here. We took a long position right here, and then we pretty much wrote it up for full TP, somewhere around there. Let me see if I could find the entry for that. And if you guys send me messages over the weekend or just yesterday, because I did respond to most questions, but if I didn't get to your question yet, just hang tight, guys, and I'll respond to you once we have some downtime today. Yeah, I can't remember when we took that odd USD position, but we did hit TP for that position as well. And it just looks like all of the AUD pairs are pretty much just pulling back right now. I don't know if it's going to be a full pullback or reversal. It might just be a temporary one, but we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. See, odd CHF, it's kind of too close to the zone, right? I mean, odd CAD, it's too close, so I wouldn't take a sell right here because it might just reject off this structure right here. Let's keep going down the list over here. Yo, what's up, David? David's here too. Peter. Let's see. Morning, Alkin. How's it going? Yeah, Mark said that US 30 drop was a double top. I'm gonna go check US 30. Yeah, I guess you can consider this a double top right here. I don't think it's a really clean one though, Mark, because it's let me see if there was a structure up there. If we had a K2SR. Because generally, if I'm going to consider double top, I want it to be super clean. I want it to be lined up perfectly, not where it shoots like way up here. You know what I mean? Like if it was going to be double top for me, I would want it for it to be literally double top, not a spike up and then a spike down. But I mean, everyone analyzes it differently. But for me, like I would consider this a double bottom. If this was to come down and it closed within the zone, I would consider that a double bottom. Right here, I think this drop was due to the news. I don't think it was a double top because a double top wouldn't push it this fast down. Because you can see this drop from up here, way down here, like 2,000 pips. So basically, if it's if it establishes a double top like that, it usually comes down kind of smoothly, but not like immediately, like how it did right here. I think this was mostly news driven because we did have the Chicago PMI right here. Let me update it. And the Chicago PMI was way lower. So they forecasted it to be 59.4. It was at 61.1 and it was actually 58.2. So that's why I think that this is what probably caused it to drop down a little further. But I mean, who knows? You know, news is unpredictable. We're not really 100% sure how the news would affect it. But, you know, my guess is this is what caused the drop, because when this happened, it dropped pretty heavily. But let's go ahead and keep looking at the other pairs. But yeah, I mean, this would be, I guess you could consider this a double top. I just would think it's a messy double top because it's way up here. You know, it's a huge difference from it rejecting off this point for a clean double top versus it rejecting from like way up here. And let me see if I can find an example for that. And this is why I usually don't like to teach patterns, or I don't like to even trade patterns, because it's so subjective. You know, what I see and what Mark sees could be totally proper. Like he could be seeing something totally right. I could be seeing something totally right. But you'll really never know, because there's no objectivity with, you know, specific patterns. Let's see. I'm just trying to find like a clean double top that I can just use as a example. Because generally, if it's a double top, I see it as it testing, and the second test has to be below the actual first test. So that's how I see things a little differently. Like something like this right here. Like I consider this a double bottom, or tweezers, I guess. There's different names for it. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I was trying to find a good example, but the US 30 has been messy like for the past couple months. So it's kind of hard to find really clean rejections where they reject off the exact same point. Something like this right here. So this is what I would consider like a double top, because you can see that price tested it right here. And then on the second test, it didn't pass the first test. It was below it, and then it came shooting right back down. So that's just something that I would, you know, consider a double top. But I mean, it doesn't really matter, guys. It's like I mentioned, it's subjective. So depending on what you see and depending on what I see, it could be totally different. Let's see. Peter said, just kidding. Vlas said Bitcoin at 19,000, and also you risk 10% per FX trade on your risky account. What do you risk on your growth? Wait, Ross, are you talking to me or are you talking to someone else in the chat? Because because you're talking about my other account. Yeah, so on my normal account, I only risk 3%, guys, because on my bigger account, sorry, I'm gonna put my chair down. I'm like tired of standing. Let's get this desk down. On my risky Forex account, it's like, I started at like 2,000. So now it's like at 6,000. But on my growth account, it's a lot bigger. So obviously it's a lot bigger. My 3% on the big account is going to be a lot more versus on my smaller account. So even though I'm taking smaller risk, only 3%, I'm still risking like a couple $100 to $1,000, you know, per trade. So I don't think that the risk percentage really matters, because you still have to factor in the account size. Because you could have like a $1 account, you're risking 20%, you're only risking 20%. I mean, 20 cents, right? It's not going to make a big difference. But if you're trading a $20,000 or a $100,000 account and you're risking 20%, then you're risking like 20K. So it's a huge difference. And that's why I only take big risks on the risky account, which is like $5,000. Because if I blow those $5,000, I'm not going to cry about it. You know, it's going to be like, okay, well, I took that risk and I already knew it was going to happen. So it's fine. But you can't do it on a bigger account, obviously. But yeah, Vlas, so you get what I'm saying, right? The risk percentage is totally different on my risky account, because it's only 6,000 versus my growth account, which is, I don't even know where it's sitting right now. It's probably sitting around like maybe 40, 50,000. So if I'm trading 50,000 times 20%, I'll be risking 10,000 per trade, which I'm not going to do, obviously, because, you know, I understand that this is a long-term game, and I'm only risking about 3% off that. So 50,000 times 3%, I'm risking 1,500. This is fine. If I lose or win 1,500, it's cool with me, because this is gonna, if I lose this, I don't want to make it back on the next trade, because our win percentage is so high. Like, you guys have seen our results for this whole month. So if you go back and look at our results for this entire month, guys, it's been like crazy. Like, I know this is why a lot of people keep over leveraging, because we've just literally been killing it like the past couple months. Like right here, look at all these full TPs. Even if you were to take all my trades and just go to TP1, you'd be in crazy profit, guys, because you'd still be making like 1% each trade, and your account would just be nonstop growth. Because look how many stop losses we hit. We have like 13 wins and 0 losses for FX trades, and then our US 30 trades it's been like off the past couple months, so it's been like still in profit, but not crazy in profit. But even so, if you took TP1 for all those trades, you would still have crazy profit. So even if I go to, so that was this week that just passed, right? If I go to the previous week, let's see, right here, this still is like super high as well. Oh, this was last week. So let me go to the next one, week 3. So this is week 3, right? Look how many wins we have here, guys. So last week we had 13 wins and 0 losses. This week, this past week was 13 wins, 0 losses. The week before that was 10 wins and 1 loss. So even if you took TP1 for all of these trades, you'd still make like a ton of profit, guys. Look at all these full TPs right here. It's gone to a point where you can pretty much just like let it, like set and forget it. Because looking over here at week 2 as well, let's see, week 2. So this is just for the month of November, guys. So November right here, we had 13 wins last week, 10 wins the week before, 13 wins the week before that. Literally, it's impossible for you guys to be in the negative for the month of November. If you guys are in the negative, you guys might be doing something wrong. You might be over leveraging. You might be not moving your stop loss in profit. But even if that was the case, you should still be in profit. So if you guys aren't in profit for the month of November, reach out to me like directly so I can help you guys, because there should be no reason why you're in the negative for November. Like even right here. So week 1 of November, we have one. I'll just go to the results for the entire month. Because the thing with our trades are that it doesn't matter if you're doing things wrong with moving your stop loss. You should still be pretty far in profit. So for November right here, we had 3 wins, 0 losses week 1, 13 wins, 2 losses week 2, 10 wins, 1 loss week 3. Last week, 13 wins and 0 losses. So we're in total 39 wins and 3 losses. For you guys to lose any of these trades, it just doesn't make any sense, guys. Or I mean, for you guys to be negative, it literally makes 0 sense. Because, so like check this out. We have 39 wins, right? So if you do 39 times 1, that's going to be 39% in profit. So you have 39% right there. And then even if you took the 3 losses, so you do 3 times 3, it's 9. So if you subtract, obviously 39 minus 9, you should still be in profit, 30% growth if you're only taking TP1. So, I'm breaking down the math for you guys so you guys can see that this, like, it doesn't matter if you're looking at pips, if you're looking at risk percentage, it's impossible for you guys to be in the negative if you're taking my Forex trades this entire month. So if you guys are in the negative, just message me, tell me what's going on, because I can help you. Like there's probably an issue that you're doing things wrong. And it's a simple fix. Like I can tell you if you're over leveraging, I can tell you if you're just not moving your stop loss at profit. I can tell if you're putting the numbers in wrong. There's a lot of different things that can be fixed to help your account. Because I want to see all you guys be profitable. I want to see you guys be consistent, because there's like no excuse for you guys to be in the negative for the entire month of November. And in general, just for the entire year. Because if you look at the entire year right here, our wins always outweigh our losses. So if you're doing things properly, you should still be in positive at the end of the month, every single month. Here, let's see. John said, if we're not hitting stop loss that often, I wonder if it's better not to move your stop loss to TP1 or TP2 and give FX more room to breathe. Yeah, John. So it's really up to you. If you want to move your stop loss and profit, then make sure to do that with every single position. Don't move your stop loss for one position and then for the next one don't, because you're not going to have consistent results. If you want to just let them all run to full TP, then do that with every single position. Don't go back and forth between adjusting stop loss to letting it run, because for one position you could be hitting full TP, and then for one position you could be hitting full stop loss. But if you're moving your stop loss for one of them and not the other, it's not going to balance out with regard to profits. Dominic said today was lose, right? We had no loss today, Dominic. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Our USD CHF is is still active, I think. Let me check. There's only one trade that was called, USD CHF, and it's still active. There's no stop loss that was hit. So I'm not sure what you're referring to, Dominic, but there's we haven't had a loss today or this week. So if you could be more specific, Dominic, I could help you, but I'm not sure which what you're talking about, because I've only called one trade this whole week, or it was only Sunday yesterday, so I've only called one trade, and we've hit TP right here, TP1, and if you're still in the trade, it's still active. So I don't know, I'm not sure which trade you're talking about. Velocity said, choose one, John, either full TP or move stop loss and stick with one. Yeah, 100%. So velocity is spot on with that. And that's what I mean about consistency, guys. So if you guys are familiar with the exit strategy, so here, let me just, I guess I could type it up here. It's going to be a little confusing because there's a handful of different exit strategies, but I'll just go over the simple exit strategy. So stay consistent with exit strategy. And I'm only going to give you guys two because there's probably going to be the main one. So simple exit K2, simple exit strategy, or run to full TP, stop loss. So basically, if you guys are going to follow the trades, there's going to be two exit strategies that you can use. You can use the simple exit strategy. And for that, when price reaches TP1, so like right here, you can see that USD CHF hit TP1 right here. If it hit TP1, then you're supposed to move your stop loss to TP1 over here, so that if price was to come down to TP1 and then it pulls back like it did right here, you get stopped out at TP1 and you're done with that trade. However, if you don't want to follow this exit strategy, because for some people, they don't want to actively manage their trades, they think it's too much work. If that's the case, then don't move your stop loss. Just leave it and let it run to full TP or full stop loss. So, it's an all or nothing trade for you, where you either hit full TP or you hit stop loss. Because if you continue to do that for every single trade, it's going to balance out for you guys regardless. So, looking at the results over here. So looking at last week's results for all of these trades right here, I could go ahead and do the math for you guys if you guys really want to see how this is done. So right here, these are all the trades that were called, right? Every single trade. So right here, we're going to count these by 3% growth per trade. So right here, we have GBP USD, which it's still active, so we're not going to call that trade. We had Euro NZD that hit full TP. So we're going to calculate this as if you're holding them to full stop loss, full TP. So for this would have been a 3% trade. We're going to add 3 to our profits right here. 3, right? GJ right here, full TP. We add another 3. Euro odd, we hit TP1 right here, but if we're doing a full position, then we're just going to count this as a loss. Even though it hit TP1, we're going to count it as a loss. I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. So we subtract that by 3. Now we're at 3% full profit for the week. Right here, K² Jpy, full TP, EG, full TP, AN, full TP. So we're going to add 3, 3, 3. We're at 12% profit for this week. GA right here, full TP, add another 3. NZD USD, this, I think this hit, let me see. Yeah, so for this trade, this hit full TP right here yesterday. So for that trade right there, we're going to add 3% to it. Odd CHF, it's still active. UCAD right here, it's still active as well. Or I hit full TP actually. So hit full TP, we're going to add 3 for that. Odd JPY, it's still active right now. EuroCAD, it is, I think that hit full TP too. So that hit full TP as well. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the numbers right here. So EuroCAD plus 3%. And odd NZD right here, this hit full TP as well. So I'm going to add 3% on there as well. So those are all the trades from last week, guys, for November week 4. You should be in profit 27% if you're letting them run to full TP or full stop loss. So if you're taking a 3% risk on your account, and then what we'll do is we'll generalize this as maybe 3% is going to be about a 300 pip profit for a normal account, right? That's how much you would make if you just let the trade run full TP. So you multiply this by 300 bucks, you should be in profit $8,100 from last week if you took every single trade and you let them run to full TP or stop loss. And that's what I mean about being consistent with it, because sometimes you just have to eat these losses, but at the end of the month, you'll be in profit. So if you guys saw me do the math for you guys, I literally counted all these trades. I counted these TP1s, TP2s as losses to be transparent with you guys. And even with those losses, you should still be in profit X amount of money. So if you guys aren't in profit by the end of this, at the end of this month, then just reach out to me so I can help you out, because obviously you're probably doing something wrong. And if you're doing something wrong, it could be fixed. There's an easy solution to pretty much anything. It's just you guys need help. And if you guys need help, I can help you guys. Oh, Dominic said he did something wrong. Yeah, no problem, Dominic. I mean, it happens. So that's what I mean too. If you guys make mistakes, just reach out to me, because sometimes you guys make mistakes and you guys don't understand, what mistake was made. So I could go ahead and help you guys so you guys don't make that, the next time as we move forward. But yeah, that's just a simple breakdown as all of our results for week 4. I can literally do this for every single week, and I could show you guys that it's impossible for you guys to be negative if you guys are following what I'm teaching. Because if you add all these together and you take every single trade, it's just impossible for you guys to be in the negative. The only reason you'd be in the negative is if you missed all of these full TPs and you only took the losses. So you guys have to remember that trading is a numbers game. There's going to be wins, there's going to be losses. But as long as you do things properly, at the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the year, you should still be in positive, because the way that our strategy works is that it's a high win rate strategy. So yeah, exactly. Velocity said, avoid losses, ? No, you got to eat those. And that's something that a lot of people don't get. A lot of people want to have 100% win rate. It's not possible, guys. It's literally impossible. So the thing is, you have to come to the realization that there's going to be losses. And then in some of these situations, you just have to eat those losses and bounce back with the wins, because the wins are always going to outweigh the losses. So let me go ahead and take a look at all these pairs. I'm going to see if there's any entries right now. Right here, this is one that I was looking at earlier for odd CAD. The problem with odd CAD is that it's too close to this next zone right here, 20 pips, right? So, I mean, technically we could probably take a sell there and then maybe only take a small little scalp there for like 22 pips, right? And this could be done like I wouldn't say this is a bad trade, but I think it's a risky trade, because the problem with this is when price comes down, test this zone right here, odds are it'll probably reject off it, or might reject before that. So we'll have to, be careful with our trades, especially with, let's see, the news today. It looks like we're good, actually. So we're done with news until pretty much 7:30 later tonight. So I think we have a pretty clear trading day overall for the most part. I'm just checking back at US 30 right now, guys. So looking at US 30 again earlier, this is going to play out just like what I mentioned earlier. It's probably going to come down here, establish a double bottom from this test, and then another test down here. And then it'll probably shoot up right here. If we get a buy signal similar to what we had right here, then we can probably take a long position and ride that thing up, because people are going to buy the dip. It's inevitable. When people see price drop X amount, people are going to try to buy that dip. So let me go pull up CNBC real quick. I'm just going to see if there's anything that is indicating any correction. Damn. Man, Nikolai's like all over the place, guys. Nikolai just dropped 20%. That's crazy. So what else we got here? Moderna says new data shows COVID vaccine is 94% effective. Plans to ask FDA for emergency. Okay, on Monday. So Moderna is going to ask for FDA approval today. Anyway, I'm just trying to see if there's anything here that would affect, that would spike US 30 back up, because that's what we're looking for, guys. So like I mentioned before, if you guys are familiar with the K² strategy, the US 30 strategy, we would basically be waiting for the first valid momentum signal. Because so if you guys are new here and you guys aren't familiar with how the US 30 strategy works, basically what we do is we wait for the market to open. Like right here, 6:30 is when the market opens for the New York Stock Exchange. And what we're doing is we're waiting for momentum to push the market. So right now, price is slowly coming down right here. And what we're waiting for is we're waiting for a buy signal. We're waiting for a swing of momentum in the other direction, because right now, this is like a lot of speculation, people coming in from the weekend, you know, just orders flooding in from the holiday weekend because the market was closed for the past 2 days, plus the weekend. We see all these orders coming down right here, right? Eventually what happens is a bunch of other traders, or not even just traders, like banks and institutions, they want to buy the dip. So what happens is they buy the dip at some point when it comes down to this area, which would be this support area right here. Once they buy the dip, we wait for a confirmation that momentum is going to be swinging upwards. So like right here, you can see price came down, people bought the dip. Or here's an example. I'm going to show you, this is a London entry. So right here was the same strategy, but used during the London entry. This is what some people used. Right here, price came down, rejected off this support, came up, rejected off this zone right here, came down. And then you could see that momentum started to swing up. So price came down, momentum swung up, retracement, swung back up right here. We had a buy signal. And at that point, you could take a long position and ride that up to full TP, right? That's the same exact thing we're doing right here. We're waiting for price to come down, waiting for it to establish a support, which is probably down here. And then once it pulls up, it'll probably retrace a little bit. We get a buy signal, and then we ride that to full TP. So it's a really simple concept, guys. I feel like a lot of people want to overcomplicate it a lot, but this strategy is very simple. Like what we're doing is we're just trying to piggyback off the big moves that are made by the banks and institutions. So we're waiting for price to come down. We're waiting for the banks and institutions to push price in a certain direction. We're waiting for price to get pushed up, because then that's when the banks start to push price. They spike price up because they make a big order. And then what happens is all of these other traders try to hop onto that trade, right? And what we're doing is we're doing the same exact thing. We're piggyback riding that move back up so that we can hit full TP. So we'll ride this up to full TP somewhere, like right there, and then we'll hop off the train. You know, we're going to get off, take our full TP, and then the market could go do whatever it wants to do, because, you know, we're just trying to catch these little moves in the market that are created by, you know, the bigger players. Because obviously we're taking these X amount of positions. It's not going to be enough to move the market. You know, you got to be putting like some big positions in there to really move the market X amount. So we're pretty much riding the hype. If you guys, you know, that makes a generalization of what we're doing. We're pretty much just riding that hype and then hopping off before the hype dies out. Because the thing is, when the banks push price up, they're going to pull out at some point. So, you know, we want to pull out when they pull out, or right before they pull out, so we don't get caught in any of these like reversals or anything like that. Let me see. So Velocity said, can you demonstrate the intraday strategy on the K2 zones again? Because I remember you mentioned before that the V1 indicator, the most recent support and resistance, and this shows them all. So you would draw the zones on the 1 hour. Velocity, I never draw the zones on the 1 hour. I always draw them on the 4 hour. So I'm not sure. I think you might be confusing something, because so I don't use the zones for the intraday strategy. So I'm not sure if, I think you might be mixing up some concepts or mixing up the strategies, because the the intraday strategy doesn't use any of those things that you just mentioned. So let me just go ahead and show you guys what the intraday strategy looks like. And this is going to be like one of the most basic strategies. It still works. It's just that for me, I don't want to be on the screen all day. So I don't necessarily trade it anymore, because it just takes up like way too much time, guys. If you want to be on the screen all day and make a lot of profits, you guys can do it. But for me personally, I just don't want to be on the screen, you know, literally 24 hours trying to catch these trades when I can be doing other things. I can just trade on the 4 hour instead. So I'll show you an example of how that strategy works. That specific strategy doesn't require, it doesn't require the zones. So I'm not sure. I mean, there's probably some confusion there, Velocity. So if you want to, you know, be more detailed about, I'll show you guys like an example of like right here. Or I'll show you an example right here. So this is just, I'm just going to show you guys an example of the strategy that Velocity is talking about. So this is going to be the K2 intraday strategy on the 30-minute time frame. For one, you're just going to identify valid K2 signal. To confirm K2 trend meter matches signal. And then third, you could enter on the open of the following candle. And then you'll place stop loss at previous swing or 1-to-1 risk reward. So that's pretty much it. It's a super simple strategy. And I'll show you exactly what I mean right here. So first you want to identify a valid K2 signal. A valid K2 signal is if it's going to be a red signal like this, a red sell signal, and the candle is a red bearish candle. Similarly over here, you see it's a green bullish candle with a green buy signal. So if this was to appear, this would be a valid buy signal. So valid buy, valid sell, valid buy, valid sell. Right here, we have a valid sell signal, right? Because it's a red bearish candle with a red sell signal. So once you have this right here, next you want to confirm that the K2 trend meter matches the signal. The K2 trend meter is down here. When it's red, this means that the overall trend is downwards, and you can change the settings. So I have the settings here for intraday settings, which are the 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. So in order to set this up, you can set it up at however you like. But since you're trading intraday, you want to know where price is going to be moving within the next 30 minutes, the next 4 hours, because you're going to get in and out of this trade within a few hours. So right here, first valid K2 signal. Then second, the K2 trend meter matches. They're both red and red. Very simple. No real guesswork there. After that, you can enter on the open of the following candle. So right here, you enter a short position, and then you'll place a stop loss at the previous swing, which would be somewhere right here. I generally like to put it a little bit higher, and it just depends on where you want to put it. So this can be the swing for me, while this can be the swing for you up here. So it just really depends on where you identify the swing. So just for demonstrational purposes, we'll put it right here. We'll just round it up to about 40 pips. And that's pretty much about it, guys. So for this strategy, you don't have to use the zones. It's not necessary. I mean, it's an addition if you want to have the extra confirmation, but it's not necessary. So once you have this setup right here, you can let the trade run. And then there you go, full TP, right? So it's really that simple. Well, I'm still waiting to see if you want to respond to my question, because I'm not sure if there's a confusion between your what you're looking at versus how the strategy works. But the strategy is very simple. It's literally just this. You don't have to use the zones, but if you do want to use the zones, you can. So if you were to use the zones, then you would have this setup right here like this, and then you could turn on the K2SR to determine these zones. So you can see there's no lower zones, right? So you go ahead and draw these rectangles right here. There's a zone up here. There's some zones up here, but it's irrelevant down here because we're anticipating this to shoot down a full TP anyways. So as long as there's no zones down here, you can take the trade. And if you don't see one on the 30-minute, you can go on the 1 hour. There's still no zones down here. All the way up to the 4 hour, there's so the zone would be at the full TP down here. So this would be fine. You'd still take this trade, even if there was a zone down there, because you're anticipating the full TP to hit before it reaches that zone anyways. So regardless as to however you analyzed it, it still would have hit full TP right there. And that's this strategy. It's super simple. This is one of the K2 strategies. So I'll show you guys the different strategies that are available, because we have a ton of strategy. Well, not a ton. We have a handful of strategies that all work perfectly fine. So if you guys haven't found, a strategy that you guys can be profitable with, we have them all here. Like this is the K2 website. If you log into the website, you'll have access to the K2 intraday strategy, the momentum pullback strategy, my scalping strategies, the K2SR zone strategy. This is what I use for every K2 signal on the premium group. So if you guys want to trade exactly how I do, you'll just trade this strategy on the 4 hour time frame. And then the K2 pivot strategy. And lastly, the K2 US 30 strategy that we're basically going to be applying this morning once we get that entry. So it's really simple, guys. If you guys, and here's the thing, guys, I'm also offering like a one-on-one mentorship with you guys. So if you guys want to learn how to trade exactly how I do, just subscribe to K2. Once you have the indicators, I can teach you exactly what I'm doing. It's not rocket science, because the thing is, these algorithms and indicators that I've created make it simple for you guys to identify these trades. Like it takes out all the guesswork. Literally right here, you have a, same situation right here. there was an entry. You had a valid sell signal, it matched the trend meter. You enter a sell. Same situation right here. Valid sell signal, the trend meter is red, you enter a sell there as well. There's literally no guesswork there. You just take the trade and you have full TP. So I made it super simple for you guys to trade exactly how I do, because I added all this visualization on the chart for you guys. So there's, I mean, there's a ton of resources for you guys if you guys want to learn, and I'm here as well. So I'm here to help you guys. And you know, starting next year. So if you guys want mentorship from me, you guys are going to have to sign up now, because next year I'm not going to be giving out mentorships to everyone. There's going to be a specific package for mentorships, because the problem is I'm getting way too busy now. So I can't take time out of my day to mentor literally everybody, you know, and it's only going to be available to those that are serious about trading, because I'm not going to waste my time teaching someone that wants the shortcut when the shortcut's already given, but they don't want to do any work to learn what I'm teaching. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you guys want to learn from me one-on-one, it's still available to you guys. You guys just need to sign up before the year ends, because the plans are going to be changing by next year, because K2 is growing too fast and I'm just getting way too busy, and I can't help every single person that doesn't want to learn 100%. So, you know, just putting that out there for you guys. Let's see. Velocity said, oh, okay, I prefer that instead of the version. Yeah, exactly. Velocity. So what Velocity is mentioning right now is we have two different SR indicators. So the first indicator right here, you can see that there's two lines right here, right, guys? So if I go back this up over here, you guys can see that there's a red line right here and there's a green line right here. So if you guys can see that, this is going to identify the resistance and this is going to identify the support. And as price continues to move along, this is going to automatically adjust for you. So you can see price moves and you can see the support bounces up and down, right? So I can go ahead and draw a line right here just so you guys can see what I mean. There's the support right here, and as price crosses below and above it, it's going to automatically adjust. So the green line is now down here, and this is going to help you guys identify the support and resistance without having to guess, you know. Literally, it does all the work for you, and you just literally just let it run. So you can see price automatically adjust the support and resistance as price continues to move along. So this is the version 1 of the indicator. I personally don't use it anymore because I'd rather have more zones on the chart than just, you know, the very closest ones. So this is version 1, and the version 2 is going to draw all of these other zones on the chart. So instead of just having one of you know, having one zone on the chart for you or one support and resistance, you'll have all of them on the chart for you. So you can see all these lines, they start to appear as price gets to those price points. And if you have all of these zones right here, it gives you a good understanding where to trade and where not to trade, because obviously you don't want to trade where price is going to be reversing on you, right? So it makes things super simple. A lot of people are against using indicators, but the thing with these indicators are that I've created them, and this is like my special code that I use for all my trades. So, you know, there's no bullshit with these indicators. These indicators actually work because I use them for my everyday trading. And you guys can see here that they're pretty accurate with regard to, you know, identifying these rejection points and zones on the chart automatically, so that you don't have to go and do all the work. Because obviously, if someone's drawing support and resistance, you know, odds are people are drawing the wrong support and resistance. They're drawing areas like right here. They're saying that this is resistance. They're saying that, you know, this might be support right here. But look at the zones. They don't line up. See? And that's a problem with a lot of traders. A lot of traders are misidentifying these zones because what they see is subjective with regard to what I see. And the thing with my indicator right here is that this pulls data as far back as you want. So you can go right here. I have it set to 100 bars back. So if you do 100 times 30, see, so 100 times 30, that's going to be, you know, 3,000 minutes behind. So instead of you having to go back in data, you know, looking back here, 300 or 100, yeah, 100 candles back, you just turn on the indicator and it does the work for you. So if you want to go on any other time frame, like right now we're on the 30, if you want to go on the 1 hour and you want to see where the zones are, 300, was it 300 hours back? Or yeah, 300 hours back, because it's an hour per candle. Then, oh, sorry, my mouth is like super off. 100 candles back, which would make it 100 hours behind, you can see where these zones have been created that far back. And then you can go ahead and change that. If you want to go farther back, you can go to 500 candles back. And then you can see that the zones change, right? So depending on how you're trading, if you want to trade intraday, you only want to see where the zones are, X amount of time back, because these zones over here don't really matter to you if they're way far back here, months back, because you're trading up here right now. So these zones are going to be irrelevant. And you can see right here, as price moves forward, it's going to create new zones. Like this zone right here got created, this zone got created, and you know exactly where to trade, because basically if price is coming down from this point right here, odds are once it reaches the zone, it's either going to reject off it or it's going to break below. So let's see what happens here. See, price created a new zone right here. So price rejected off that zone, and now you have new zones here. So price is coming up, odds are price can either come down from here or shoot up from there. And then just looking at price from here, price comes up, tests the zone, and then it comes right back down. So you can see how strong these zones are. Price comes up, tests this zone, tests the same zone that was tested, over here a couple of days back, and it shoots right back up, tested this zone. And literally this gives you the framework where to trade and where not to trade, because you know exactly where price is going to be, rejecting from. And it's really simple. So you can see that price always respects these zones. So price is within a range right now, right? It's ranging within this zone right here, or this is gonna be easier. So if I take this off right here, price is ranging within this zone and this zone down here, right? So if you take off the K2SR indicator, you have that nicely lined up right there. So you can identify whether price is going to break above here or break below here. So you see price break the zone right there, and then it pretty much pulls back into the zone. So now it breaks above it, and then you have that extra confirmation that, okay, price is way up here now, right? So it's probably gonna continue up further. And that's exactly what happens. Shoots from here, way up to here. And if you turn on the K2SRs, you guys can see that new zones have been created right here again. So now it's created a new support. At this point, now price can go from here back down or shoot up even further. And this pretty much gives you the full understanding as to what's going to happen. So you can see right there, price came up and it comes back down, and it pretty much respects these same zones that we've drawn this whole time. So that's just a quick example as to how it works. But there's a ton of ways to apply it. It's not just one way. But yeah, we're back to that point. Let's pull up US 30 real quick. Okay, nice. So price rejected off that zone that we drew earlier, just like we mentioned. And now we're waiting for it to either reject off it or to break through it and continue down further. So now that we're this far into this trade, or we're not even in the trade, but we're this far into identifying it, I'm going to identify any lower zones. So there's no lower zones here. I'm gonna go in the higher time frame, like the 1 hour. Yeah, it's kind of messy, but here I'm just gonna delete all these because we're just looking for these lower zones right here. All right, so price rejected directly off that zone right there on the 1 hour. So now we're gonna wait and see if this breaks through it. So right here for US 30, we're at this critical zone right here, right? Price can either reject off it or break below it. So if it rejects off it and then we get a buy signal, then we could probably take that trade. However, it might break right through it and continue down further. So we'll wait. Whoa, Bitcoin surges to a record 19,800. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, guys, let me check Bitcoin real quick. I just got a notification from CNBC saying that Bitcoin just shot up like crazy. Where's David at? Is he in here? David, you still here? I know David's happy right now. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. Crazy. Wow. Good Bitcoin, guys. Let me check my Bitcoin. So you guys have been, if you guys have been sitting in this webinar with me, the past, whatever, I've been doing this every day for the past couple months now. I've been showing you guys my profits every single time. So I've been holding Bitcoin at 200 bucks for the past couple months, and I'll check it out. It's at 762 now, guys. Not bad. So I'm literally just holding this Bitcoin, guys. I put in like 200, 300 bucks a couple months ago, and I'm not even touching it. I'm just letting it do what it's supposed to do. And it's shooting up like crazy. So David, I know if you're in here, you're probably super excited right now. You're probably ready to quit your job. Don't do it yet. But Bitcoin is shooting up like crazy right now, guys. It's like, I wasn't even sure if it was going to break this point, but it did. And I'm glad because I'm holding that Bitcoin. But the last time it tested that point was, let's go to the weekly chart. So looking at this here, and also guys, the K2SR works on here as well. It's perfect. So it's at a resistance right now. See, I turn on the K2SR. It's currently at a resistance right now. If price breaks this point, which it has tested back in, 2017 in December, if it breaks this point, then we could probably see it shoot even further, because it has been shooting up like crazy past couple of days. So I don't know where David's at right now. Hopefully David, oh, there he is. See, David got the money face going. So it's looking great right here for Bitcoin. And this is what I mean about the K2 indicators working on literally everything, guys. So like, you can use the K2SR on Bitcoin. You can use it on XRP. You can use it on gold. Where's gold at? You can use it on, you can use it on gold. You can use it on US 30, oil, silver. It doesn't matter what you guys want to use it on. The indicators work on literally everything. So you can literally use all of these strategies on any asset that you like to trade. And that's what makes the K2 indicators so much different compared to, the original indicators that people use, because those specific indicators don't work on all assets, since they're asset specific. But yeah, looking at Bitcoin, this looks great, guys. I'm glad that this is shooting up pretty crazy. I'm like, damn, I was thinking about pulling out of my Bitcoin last week because I saw that drop like right here. So I was thinking of pulling it out, but good thing I did it because it's way back to where it started. So thankfully that's playing out as it is. Back to US 30 right here, we do have this lower zone that's created, but on top of that, I want to see where the next zones are as well, because that could be a very critical spot where, sorry, let me fix this. Okay. So that could be a really critical spot as to where the next test could be. So let's see, we have the 1 hour zones right here tested. Next zone is going to be way down here. So this basically just becomes a game of patience, guys, because what we're doing is we're technically looking to buy the dip. So we're looking for price to dip far enough. And then once people start to buy the dip at a certain point, so price comes right here. If it breaks through this zone, it's going to have to test this zone right here. So if it tests this zone, we get a buy signal, then it's probably going to shoot up from there. And we can, get in at a discount. 68 there. So I don't care if this is dropping this far because we're on the trade, doesn't matter to us. But I wouldn't chase it because this can literally bounce back up at any point. So if you take a sell right here and you FOMO in, basically price comes down right here, it can shoot up, comes down here, it could shoot up at any point. And you don't want to get caught on that reversal. So I'd wait for it to come right here, reject off, get a buy signal, or come down here, reject off, get a buy signal. So once we have those, then that will give us better confirmation as to where the direction of price is going to be going. But currently right now, it's just a game of patience. You just have to wait and then see how everything plays out. All of the news already passed, so I don't really think there's going to be any crazy movements unless something happens with, yeah, see, I just saw this. I got this notification on my phone, guys. That's why I looked at it. It's crazy. Bitcoin surges to a record above 19,800, topping 2017. That's crazy. Man, that's awesome. Keep going. I don't care about cryptos, but since I'm in that position, I wouldn't mind if it keeps pushing up even further. I'm just gonna keep following CNBC, see if there's any other news that would cause price to either correct back up or continue to drop. So looking at the Dow Jones right here, it's at everything's in the red right now, guys. So this is normal that it's dropping right here because literally everything's in the red. But here's the thing. It can only be in the red so far until people start to buy the dip and push it back up. The thing as well is that if price drops far enough, they're gonna enable the circuit breaker. So if it drops way too far, maybe like 5,000 pips. So from like, let's see, from today, it's dropped about, okay, 3,000 pips. I don't think it's gonna drop past this zone right here because this is 5,000 pips. If it drops too far, then the market's they're gonna enable their circuit breakers because they're just gonna stop the market because they don't want the stock market to crash too far down before, you know, it becomes uncontrollable and people start losing way too much money. So I think this is going to be the sweet spot for the buy if it comes down that far to this point and then rejects off this point and shoots right back up, because like I mentioned, this is a huge drop. It's already dropped from this point to here, and if it drops from here straight down here within the first few couple hours, that's a 5,000 pip drop. So it's going to be crazy if it continues, but I mean, we'll see. Peter said, look at the Bitcoin 1 month chart, that wick. Let me see real quick. See what Peter's talking about over here. Let me hide this right here. Wow, you're talking about this wick over here on the 13th, bro? It's a crazy wick. I think this is when Bitcoin started, probably sometime in like 2009, I think. So this 2013 when I think TradingView just got started as well. But you can see price comes up, tests the zone in 2017, rejects off this point 2018. A wick here in 2020 of March, and then just literally a skyrocket from that point. Yeah, back to US 30 here. I think this is like all the hype right now, as a lot of people who are sitting in this room right now are just waiting for this US 30 entry. You know, just as me as well. You can see this nice wick off here. It's exactly what I mentioned earlier. You guys see that wick? So this would be a perfect rejection off this point. If we get this wick right here and it shoots above the zone, and we get a buy signal, then I can see it recovering, you know, quite a bit. But we'll see how that plays out. And for you guys that don't know what circuit breakers are, I could go back to like March when we had these crazy drops. Actually, let me go back to yeah, so like you can see right here, these crazy drops during March or February, actually, when COVID was super widespread. So when it happened right here, price came down. There was like a circuit breaker at this point. Price stopped and then people bought it. And then it shot right back up a little bit. So same situation could happen here where price drops too far and then people buy the dip. They make their money, then they pull back out and then it continues dropping even further. So that's kind of what I anticipate happening, you know, somewhere over here where price currently is. Look at that nice flick right there. So people are starting to buy it. And then we'll just wait and see if we get that buy signal. It should be coming soon if this candle closes with this nice wick and the bullish candle. Let's see when's the last time it tested this specific zone. So yeah, this zone right here was tested back in November 20th. That's not even that long ago, November 23rd. So you can see how strong these zones are, because you can see that this zone that we created right now, it's tested back in like last week on the 23rd. It's tested on November 17. It's tested in early November. So in this entire month, it's been testing this specific zone right here. So we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully we get a buy signal right here. Then we can take that buy and pretty much just write it up for about 1,500 pips. Oops, way too high there. Something like that. And we'll have to wait and see how this plays out, because this is a really nice rejection off this point, guys. I don't know if you guys see what I see, but this looks like a beautiful rejection right here. You can see price projected off this point. Price came down. There's actually a zone right here. So price came down, tested the zone, buy signal, and then it shot all the way up. So like there. Same situation right here, rejection off this point. If we get a buy signal, then I could anticipate this to shoot X amount up for us to make some profit. So like I mentioned, guys, game of patience. We're just gonna have to wait for that to play out. Oh, Peter meant the 1 minute chart. Okay, let me see. Wow, it's still shooting up, guys. So it's breaking past that zone, or it's going to soon. Looking at the 1 minute chart here, like Peter said. Oh, okay. So that is, yeah, it came down right here and then it wicked up super hard from this point. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, looking at the 1 minute chart right here, you can see it shot up pretty heavy, retraced down, shot back up, shot down right here. And then it seems like a bunch of people try to FOMO in at this point. Looks like Alkin said USD CHF spiked up hard. Any news? So the only news that's really happening right now is the COVID news. They had some US news a little while ago. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock, but let's see if there was any other news that happened recently. No decision will be announced today from OPEC. So this is one thing that likely affected it as well. So OPEC is the it's like the oil news where like all the major countries meet together to discuss, you know, oil and stuff like that. So this probably affected it because since there was no decision, it probably pushed price in a certain direction. But I don't know if that affected it that heavily. But yeah, looking at USD CHF, wow, this thing spiked up heavy, guys. So I don't know what caused the spike right here, aside from the COVID news, because we did have some COVID news earlier about the vaccine right here where Moderna, it was about an hour ago. So this might have caused a spike, Alkin. So Moderna said that there's new data that shows COVID has a 94% effective rate, and they plan to ask for the FDA emergency clearance later today. So the thing with this is that this affects USD CHF directly because the CHF Swiss franc is a safe haven currency. So if there's COVID, like positive COVID news, it's going to affect it heavily where the US dollar will gain strength. And the reason why it spiked up like this right here is because the COVID news caused the US dollar to gain strength and the safe haven currency to weaken. So one way to look at that is to look at the other safe haven currency. So we'll look at the other CHF pairs like this right here, NZD CHF. This is spiking up as well. So it looks like that might have caused the spike up right here for GBP CHF. It looks like all the CHF pairs has spiked upwards. So something that happened caused the CHF to weaken. And I'm assuming that it's the COVID news, because when there's uncertainty in the market, people put their money into safe haven currencies like the Swiss franc and the JPY. However, if there's some certainty like this, there's a vaccine coming out, people are going to put their money back into the major currencies like the US dollar, the pound, the euro, stuff like that. So just looking at all the CHF pairs, that's kind of what caused the spike. So you can see right here for Euro CHF, this caused a spike as well. CHF JPY, this is dropping because like I mentioned, if price is going down, or actually this is a toss up because these are both safe haven currencies. So this is a bit of a risky asset. You can see these huge spikes right here because there's a lot of back and forth motion going on since they're both safe haven currencies. Lastly, on CHF, this didn't affect it that much. But looking at the other CHF pairs, there is a huge spike for all of them, but they're coming back down. So this might have been caused by the COVID news. However, there's no exact direct correlation. So just because it spiked down like that doesn't mean that it's 100% related to that news. There's probably other factors that have caused it, especially with the OPEC not having a decision today. Obviously, that's going to affect it as well because, like I mentioned, the safe haven currency. If there's uncertainty in the market, like right here, there's uncertainty as to what their decisions are going to be for OPEC. Sort of say no decision announced tomorrow. Leave until tomorrow. Yeah. So you can see here that people are starting to see it. This guy commented on it. I don't even know who this guy is, but he said big money entering the market on Monday, Tuesday, US dollar up, up, up. And that's because of OPEC. So that's why you can see that spike up for the CHF pairs, because I don't know what the news means, but this guy said that, US dollar is going to go up. So if it's going to go up, that's because there's some sort of uncertainty that's causing the safe haven currencies to weaken. So, I mean, we'll see how that plays out. Alec, and I'm not 100% sure if this will, Oh, see, check that out. Elkin, did you look at it right now? Yeah, it just spiked down. See, so this was caused because of whatever news that was being announced. This is why I like to be careful when the market is just reopening, because look on the 1 minute chart, like Chelsea said, look at this huge spike. So it came up and then it spiked down how many pips from that point? Came up here and then it spiked down like 20 pips. So the thing with these certain pairs is, you know, sometimes there's some stuff that you just really can't control. You can't control spikes in price because a lot of those are news driven. And, you know, if we end up taking a loss on this trade, that's fine. Well, I actually got out of this trade when it hit TP1 for a very small profit. It was literally nothing. But yeah, news is crazy right now, guys. News is just spiking price up and down. And that's why I'm being careful today with the trades. I was going to call another trade, but I didn't want to add too much risk to our profile this early in the week, especially with all the news going on, the holiday just passing last week. There's just going to be a lot of unusual movement in the market from now until then. So just hang tight. If you're still in this trade, hang tight. If it does, in which I think it will, continue to drop down further, I would move your stop loss and profit as it continues to move down. I know this spike up happened really quickly, so some people were able to move their stop loss and profit, and it does look like a good trade. So obviously, if you analyze this from, you know, a basic perspective, all signs show that it's going to continue down, right? The only reason it came up was because of the news, but you know, looking at this right here, it's clearly in a downtrend. So it's coming down, you know, price comes up, rejects from that point, comes up right here, rejects from there, comes back down right here. And then since it broke this structure, you know, I would have anticipated this to continue even further down here before it was to shoot back up like that. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now with COVID, with the OPEC meeting going on, with the holidays, there's just a ton of factors that factor into these specific pairs, guys. So this is what I mean about always eliminating your risk whenever possible, because you never know when this is going to happen. You never know when, you know, some news event's going to come out and just spike price in the opposite direction. So this is also why I recommend trading on the 4 hour, because the problem is if you're trading on like the 30 minute or the 15 minute, you're going to see a lot of spikes in price. You're going to see a lot of noise where you can't really control these movements. So that's why I think the 4 hour is probably the best time frame to trade on, because it eliminates a lot of noise in the market and you're able to capitalize on these fuller moves versus, you know, getting caught in some spikes in price where you get stopped out without even knowing. I just checked back at US 30 right now. You can see here the same zone that I drew earlier, guys. Perfect rejection, right? So it looks like we're going to be anticipating a buy soon. So price is coming up right here. We're probably going to anticipate some sort of buy, and I'm probably going to enter that with my trade. So I'm going to go ahead and open my MT4 just to be ready in case we get a buy sometime soon, because sometimes this thing moves way too fast and we're not able to catch it on time. So we have to be like super on point with it when that entry appears, because, you know, odds are we could miss that if we're too slow. All right, so I got mine set up ready. If we get a buy signal, I'm gonna go ahead and take it. You guys are live with me here, so you guys will be able to catch it, you know, right away. And if you guys have the indicators, you guys will be ready to go as well. So we got 2 minutes left in this candle. I'm just gonna keep watching it because, you know, at the last minute we could get that buy signal and then we could miss it right at that last minute if we're not paying attention. So I'm gonna go ahead and just set this up right here just in case. This doesn't mean to enter yet, guys. So don't enter the trade until we have that signal for confirmation. I'm just gonna set this up right here so that if it does appear, I'll be able to take the trade on my own account and I'll be able to give you guys the parameters. So it's a game of patience. We got 2 minutes left on the clock. You know, we're looking for the countdown right here, just waiting for it to play out. So let me go ahead and wait for that. Let me see if we got any messages here on Telegram, because I got like 10 messages right now. So I go and check what people are asking over here. Let's see. Yeah, we got one guy over here saying that US 30 is in a zone. Oh. All right, cool. Hey, Velocity. Sorry, I saw your message on there. Are you still here, Velocity? So I think you had issues with looking up the assets on forex.com on the phone app. So Velocity, if you're still here, I'm gonna pull it up on mine to see what the issue is. I think you might be looking at a different place, but 45 seconds on this. So it shows up on my Velocity. You make sure that you're looking under so if you're on the forex.com phone app, like this is what your settings would look like. Just click on more, and then on more, go to find market, and then click on browse market, and then it should have all of the pairs showing up right there on your screen. I'm not sure if you might be looking somewhere else, because I've had that issue when I first started using it, where it didn't show up properly. Actually, it still shows up on mine too on the other page. So you might need to update your app, Velocity. I think that might be it, or maybe delete and then download the app again. There we go with the signal, guys. So right now, we didn't get that signal off that previous candle, but we did get a pending signal right here. So if we get this buy signal, if it closes, then we can take our long position right there and then ride that thing up. But we won't know until it closes. So just wait for it to close. If it doesn't close, then we're just going to keep waiting. If not, we might take it for the opposite direction if it closes an invalid signal. So this actually looks good right here, guys, because you can see people bought the dip, price came down. And the scary part about this is that it's exactly where the zone was drawn. So you guys saw me draw the zone before price even got to this point, right? We were watching this maybe a couple minutes ago, and I drew the zone for you guys, and I said exactly what was going to happen here. I said price was going to come to the zone, it was going to reject off it, we get a buy signal, and then we can anticipate that to shoot on up further. So the thing is, I drew the zone way before price was even here. Price was way up here, and I drew the zone here using the K2SR indicator, and you can see price tested exactly to the bottom of the zone. So that's how you guys can see how strong the K2SR indicator is. Like, we didn't even have to really struggle with drawing this zone, but we got perfect positioning for this right here. Let's see, David said, what's TP on USDCHF? So USDCHF TP1 was so TP1 was 0.90199, and then let me just pull up the parameters right here. So USDCHF, USDCHF, I didn't even share this in the public group yet, so I'll share that over there as well. But looking at it right here, David, TP1 is 0.90199, TP2 is 0.90099, and TP3 is 0.89899. So that'd be it for USDCHF. And let's go ahead and take a look over here at US 30. So I'm still waiting for this to play out. Let's see, we got 7 minutes left on this candle, so it's still got some time. And here's the thing, guys, if we get an invalid signal, then instead of looking for a buy, we're going to be looking for a sell. So you can see here that we have a buy signal, but it's a red bearish candle. If this closes, then we're not going to take a buy anymore. We're going to be taking a sell. So either way, I'll take either one. If it's a buy or a sell, I just want to make sure that it's valid before we decide to take it. So we got 7 minutes left on this candle. Let's see how this plays out. Just got to give it a little more time before we make that decision. So it's coming down right here. Let's see. He said, I didn't get that. Can someone type it on here? So he's go on the Telegram group. So if you go on the Telegram, it's posted on the free group. If you're not in the premium, it's like everything's detailed right there in both of the free chat and the free alerts group. So if you want to copy it, just go down there to the Telegram group and you'll see it over there for those specific details. Let me go ahead and wait for this. I mean, this is like our main, importance right now, US 30 guys, because the 4-hour candle doesn't close for another 2 hours for the Forex pairs. So we don't really, we're not really looking at those right now. Currently, we're just waiting for this. And then once this closes, we can go ahead and take a look at the Forex pairs, because obviously this is more importance right now. So yeah, he's no problem. I was going to post it in there, but I tried to post it and it was getting an error. I think the message was too long, so I couldn't share it in there, unfortunately. But you can find it on the Telegram. It's all posted right there in detail. I posted it to the free group, so you guys can see exactly where it is right now. See, Chelsea's asking, is Gbp Jpy a good sell? So let's pull up GJ real quick. I don't think so, Chelsea. Right now we have a buy signal, so technically this would have been a buy entry. The reason why I didn't call it was because of the news earlier, and you can see that price kind of rejected off it. So I think currently GJ is still, wow, it's a huge spike. So this spike right here after GJ was, wow, like 70 pips. But currently we have a buy. So it's a buy bias right now. You can see price rejected off this zone, shot up right here, and then we had a buy signal, right? So at this point, we were anticipating it to shoot up to this zone right here. So until we get a sell signal, like something like this right here, until we get a sell signal and it closes below here, then I wouldn't consider it a good sell until that happens. So if you look back at the previous entry right here, you can see price rejected off this point. We got a sell signal, and then price tested this zone right here, right? Once price broke this zone right here again, it tested this zone right here. So it always, like history always repeats itself. You can see here, price rejected off this zone. We got a buy signal. It tested this zone up here. Then price broke above this zone right here, and it tested this zone right here. So same situation right here. We got a sell signal. It broke through here, rejection, sell signal. It went down to this zone right here. And then we have a buy signal right here. So it's pretty much just repeating what it did previously right here. It had a rejection off the zone, buy signal. It shoots up to the next zone. Right here, rejection off the zone, buy signal. It's probably going to test the zone right here before either coming back down or shooting back up further. So it just really depends on where price moves from that point. But I think currently price is still has an upside to go right now. And if we analyze this with the other JPY pairs, so this is technically bullish. We look at AJ right here. This is just going sideways. K² Jpy, it's bullish right here, just pulled back a little bit. EJ right here, pushed up, pulled back a little bit. So I don't necessarily think it's going to come down, because looking at all the JPY pairs here, they're still all bullish. It just has that temporary pullback currently right there. So everything looks pretty much the same. Looking at JPY pairs, they're all bullish. So I personally wouldn't look at it as a sell right now until we get a sell signal and until it breaks the structure downwards. Here we go with US 30. It's going to keep playing games until it closes. We have 2 minutes left on this candle. So hopefully in these 2 minutes, we get a buy signal. If we do, we can take that buy and pretty much write it up. Radomir said, do you always look at Forex in 4 hour? And yeah, that's correct, Radomir. I always do. Reason for that is because, like I mentioned before, I don't like to stare at the charts all day anymore. I used to trade on the 30-minute, and you have to literally be on the chart like all day to take trades. Like obviously you'll have more trade opportunities and you can make a lot more profit. But for me, I've been trading for like 10 years, bro. And it takes its toll on you if you're on the screen for that long. And it literally drains you like mentally and physically. So that's why you'll see a lot of traders who have been trading for a while. They go on the higher time frames over time, because I know like the 30 minutes like super exciting and people want to scalp like on the 5 minute, like I do sometimes. but it's really draining if you're on the screen like all day, every single day. Especially for me, if you're a full-time trader and you're just on the screen for 24 hours a day, you're just gonna get tired of it. And that's why I trade on the 4-hour now. Here goes David with his New York session is trash. Honestly, it is kind of. I would trade London if I could stay up. I've already tried to stay up during London session, but it's draining. It's like even if you try to trade different sessions, it's just it goes both ways. You know, it's like working a graveyard shift. If you're awake from like midnight to morning, it's just, you can only do it for so long until your body can't take it anymore. All right, looking at US 30 right here, it doesn't look like it's going to close. We have 40 seconds left on this candle. I'm waiting for this buy signal, but it doesn't look like it's going to close. I do have my phone ready. Now, obviously, I have my phone from MT4 to take this trade if it does close, but it doesn't look like it's going to close on this candle. So we've got 20 seconds left. I have my phone ready if I want to do a market execution in case it spikes up in the last 10 seconds, which happens sometimes. But currently, it doesn't look like there's going to be a signal right now. So we got 10 seconds. There's a countdown right here. Let's see what happens. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No signal, guys. And there we go. We have another one right there. So like I mentioned before, we're just going to wait for the signal, guys, because we're not going to jump the gun and, you know, get in too early or get in the wrong direction. So here we go. We're waiting for this again. George said, what's the success rate on the indicators and executing trades based off the indicators? So George, if you want to go and look at our results for the year, so this is long term. This isn't just like a week, you know, this is for the whole year. So looking at our results for Forex trades, here's our Forex trades right here. Everything's documented. You guys can see live every single day I posted trades. So looking at all the trades right here, we had a total of 428 wins plus 144 losses. So that's a total of 572 trades, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to divide our wins by the losses. So 428 divided by 572. So we have about a 75% win rate for just Forex trades because it's a 0.7482517. So if you're going to round it up, it's going to be 75%. For Forex, we have a 75% win rate. This is just using the K² strategies. Here's the indices. So we've got the Forex right there, 75% win rate. We look at the indices right here. We have 75 wins plus 18 losses. It's a total of 93 trades. So we're going to divide our wins, 75 wins, by our total of 93 trades. So for indices, we have 81% win rate for all of our trades right here. It's 0.80645. We're going to round that up because, you know, obviously it's going to be 81%. So we have a 75% win rate for Forex. We have an 81% win rate for US 30. So there's a breakdown for you. You know, even though these results are, they show that these are proper, don't think that this is going to be your win rate, because even if I give you guys every single entry, every single TP, every single stop loss, I give you every advice that I can give you, odds are you're going to get greedy and you're not going to follow directions, because that's what happens with everyone, you know. And sometimes you have to make enough mistakes until you do things properly. So don't take those numbers as something that's going to be guaranteed, because even though it's possible, it doesn't mean that you're going to follow the directions, especially, you know, specifically how they're meant to be followed. So maybe just drop that down a couple of percentage points if you're not able to follow the directions 100%. But that's just a quick breakdown of how it, because I want to be 100% transparent with you guys. Like, I show you guys exactly where our win rate is, but not everyone's able to achieve that, because a lot of people want to over leverage. A lot of people want to, you know, minimize their stop loss because they don't follow the exact stop loss that I put. So the results aren't gonna match up what we come up with. But if you follow all directions, then it's completely possible for you to hit that. But it's gonna come with practice. You know, obviously, if your trade psychology is not 100%, then it's gonna be a little more difficult for you to reach that threshold. But if you practice hard enough and you just follow exactly what I tell you guys, totally possible. So we have a couple questions in the chat. You know, while we wait for this, we have 6 minutes left on this candle. We have Fatime is asking, guys, what about your USD? So let me pull up your USD right here. Tell her join the K² live trading room if you want to see me analyze it live right now. I'll post up the chart here. All right, so I'll give her a few seconds to hop on if she wants to hop on, but I'll pull up your USD right here. Yeah, huge spike right there for your USD. So let me go ahead and make sure these zones are proper, because I did draw that zone yesterday. So let me zoom out from here, close this. I just don't like when these zones are too big. Like this right here is way too huge. So I want to see if there's a better zone that's currently available on the Euro USD. So there's nothing up there on the 8-hour. This is the one on the daily. That's why I drew that zone, because it's like super wide. But that's, you know, that's as best as we can get at this point, because price is at a point where it hasn't tested in a long time. So you can see price is way up here. The last time price was way up here was way back in April of 2018. That's 2 years back, guys. So, or more than 2 years back, actually. So it's a new price area right here. You know, if price breaks the zone, then it's probably going to continue up. However, if it doesn't, it's probably going to reject off this point and come right back down. So I have that zone lined up right there. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the 4-hour. And right here, yeah, price pretty much rejected off this point. So it's currently within a zone right here. Price is to break above it. So say if it pushes back up and breaks above it, then it can continue up further. However, if it continues back down, it can probably shoot back to somewhere down here. Just looking at this, you know, specific area right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and post this in the teammates that sent me. Let's see. It's right here. Currently within this daily price zone that hasn't been tested since April 2018. Price breaks above the zone, then it can continue up. However, if price continues back down, then it will likely drop a bit further. So it's kind of hard for me to type up the analysis if you guys aren't here in the live room, because not everyone understands what I'm talking about. Like right here, I mentioned, you know, looking at EU right here, I mentioned that EU is currently in a daily price zone that hasn't been tested since April 2018. If price breaks above the zone, it can continue, just like I mentioned right here. However, if price continues down, then it'll probably continue down even further. So, you know, unless you guys are in the live trading room, I can't really show you guys the visualization of what I'm talking about. But, you know, just showing you guys right here, this is pretty much what I see happening, because this is literally a critical price point. So just like I mentioned earlier, this price point hasn't been tested since April of 2018. So since it hasn't been in this area since then, if it breaks or closes below this specific zone, it's going to be very critical as to the direction where it's going to continue up or continue back down. So something to keep in mind, you guys have to go ahead. Yeah, you guys have to make sure to look at, if you're analyzing something, make sure to look at it from a bigger picture as well, not just on the 4-hour, not just on the 30-minute, but also on the daily or weekly or monthly if necessary. Let's see, I said, I think I'll focus on your teaching. I'm joining all your channels. Nice, Ja. Yeah, if you want to focus on the channels, I go live every single day, or, you know, Monday through Thursday. So if you have any questions or if you're confused with anything, you know, just pop in the chat and ask a question. I could help you out, because because I'm here to help you guys out. You know, this helps me as well because this reinforces my knowledge and it shows you guys that, you know, I'm actually not a trader and I'm not just posting up signals. So Joshua wants us to take a look at EG. So let me just take a look at US 30 right now. So US 30 again, it's coming right back down. So that's a good thing that we didn't enter the buy and we didn't. And that's why these signals are very important, because the thing is, see, if you were a normal trader, right? Say if you were just a trader that didn't have the K2 indicators, say you were just looking at it like this and you saw that you had a zone down here. What would a normal trader do in this point? If they saw this where price rejected off this point, they saw a bullish candle, they would have tied this in with this movement right here, right? They see rejection off this point, bullish candle. They would have thought that price was going to head up further. But good thing for us, we have the K2 indicators. So we didn't take that trade. We waited for a signal. Since there was no signal, we took no trade. And then look what happened after that. It came right back down. So good thing we didn't take that trade and we're patient, because if we did, we probably would have gotten stopped out at that point. Just want Ricardo. Sorry, Ricardo. Are you in this live? Ricardo sent me a DM earlier today, so I can't. I wasn't able to respond to him. Here, Ricardo. Let me just share this with Ricardo real quick. Sorry, Ricardo. I'm not sure if you if you were in this room, because I don't know if you realized that I was doing this right now. But sorry. Nice. Fatima is in here. So Fatima, I'll go over Euro USD again for you real quick. So basically what I was mentioning earlier in the chat, Fatima, for EU is that, so I marked this up right here using the K2SR indicator. And what I noticed is that price is currently within this daily zone. This zone is created on the daily. And this price, where price currently is, hasn't been tested since from January to April of 2018. So it's been 2 years since price has reached this specific price point right here. And the thing is with this is, if price breaks above this zone right here, which this price zone would be 1.200111, if price breaks that specific price point, then it can continue up further, because price hasn't been above that point in a long time. So if price breaks this point, what's going to happen is, you know, a lot of banks and institutions are waiting for price to break this point too, and other traders as well, because they see what we see. And if price breaks above here, you're going to catch the momentum of it pushing up further. But price hasn't broken above that point. So price has rejected right here. And at this point, price can either reject off this lower zone right here and continue up to attempt to break this price point, or it can break down here. So if it breaks down here, odds are it's probably going to continue down further, because it sort of established some sort of double top right here. Let's see. Yeah. So if we draw another rectangle right here, you can see that established it like some sort of double top, because it established a higher top here, came down, came up right here, and established another high right here. So that's why I could anticipate this to drop further. However, if price bounces back from here, breaks this price point, and closes above this area, then it's probably going to shoot up even further. So right now it's at a critical price point, and I would personally wait for price to break above this price right here, which is 1.20111, before entering a buy. Also, I wouldn't enter a sell until it closes, somewhere down below this area, because then it'll give confirmation that price is going to continue down further. Because the thing is, if you enter a sell or a buy at some point right here, price can reject from this point, or price can reject from this point as well. So you don't want to be too jumpy with your trade. You want to wait and wait for that specific confirmation before you enter a trade. So that's cool. For your USD, I would be patient, just wait for price to either break above or break below here before entering it, because it can literally go in either direction, or it can just go sideways for a bit until it decides to choose whether it's going to go up or go down. So I'd hold off on EU right now. If I do see a trade, I'll call it, but I don't see anything specifically right now, currently. So let me go ahead and take a look at EG real quick for Joshua. So Joshua, let me take a look at EG and pull up US 30 real quick again. So same situation as we were discussing earlier with US 30. This is a strong support zone right here. So what we're doing is we're just waiting for price to shoot above and get a buy signal so we can take that buy, or possibly break below and we can take a sell as well. So we're just going to be patient with this. I have my alert set up. So if we do get a buy or sell signal, I'll get alerted. Otherwise, till then, we'll keep watching it and we'll wait for that entry to appear. So I'm going to pull up EG right here for Joshua. So for EG right here, I'm going to turn on the momentum indicator. We do have a sell momentum right here. However, Josh, this this current zone is pretty wide. So the problem with this right here is I would wait for it to close below here before taking, some sort of entry, because looking at the previous data right here. So if you're looking at where this happened in the past, you can see price, we got a sell signal right here. And then when it came down to this point, it rejected off it and shot right back up, right? Same situation right here. If we get the sell signal, price can come down to this point and reject up from here, or it could come down to here and reject up from here as well. So the problem with this is you don't want to get caught in this trade too early. So I'd wait for it to close below here, and then I would take a sell entry and write it down to this next zone down here for about 40, 50 pips, right? Because if this happens right here, say if you enter a sell once it crosses below here, then this will probably shoot down even further. And then if it reaches this point, you can probably move your stop loss and profit. So it reaches down to that point, you move your stop loss and profit right here, and then you have all the upside. So at this point, price can either come down, hit your full TP, or it can reverse on one of these points over here, and then you lock in profit regardless. So this is what I mean about risk management. A lot of people don't understand, why I always recommend to move your stop loss and profit, but this is a clear visualization as to how this can work out in your favor for a win-win situation. You either come down, you get, you lock in your profits here, so you guarantee half profit, and then you can go for full TP, or it'll reverse on you, and then you'll hit TP or like halfway to TP right there, and you still lock in profit. So it turns into a win-win situation regardless for you. And that's what I mean about trading smart and about using proper risk management for, pretty much every single trade. Because the thing is, if you keep locking in profits and you don't take any losses, then, your odds of being profitable at the end of the week, month, year are going to be super high. So that's pretty much it for EG right there. Like I mentioned, I wait for this to close right here. This would have to close in the next hour and a half. And then I would wait for it to close below this price point, which is 0.89153, before taking, that sell entry right there to the next zone. Let's see, City TV said, my bad if I missed this before, but how do you set alerts on the momentum indicator? So City, depending on what time frame you're trading on, right now I have it on the 4 hour. You can, depending on which alert you want, if you want it on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minute, 15 minute, 1 minute, et cetera, whatever you feel like setting it for, you'll just set your specific time frame to that time frame you want the alert for. Like right here, EG's at 4 hour. You click on alert right here. You click on this condition point right here. You choose K2TS, which is the momentum indicator. You change the second box over here to K2 signal fired. So you get both buy and sell signals. And then you can set your option here, whether you want it once per bar. This is going to give you a signal if you get a signal within a bar, but it doesn't close. So if you want a signal every time, anything appears, choose once per bar. But if you're trading on the lower time frames, like the 30-minute, 1 hour, you know, Mean Velocity had this talk yesterday. If you have it set to once per bar close, or you have it set to this, you're going to have a bunch of alerts. So depending on whether you want a bunch of alerts or you just want the valid alert, you would set it to once per bar close. So you're only going to get an alert if you get a signal there and it closes with a signal intact. Because if you have it set to once per bar close, it can give you a signal even if it's not a valid signal. So I recommend using once per bar close, but depending on which strategy you're applying, you might want to have it set to once per bar if you're like scalping or something like that. After that, you can set your expiration time for as long as you want. I have it set to open-ended. And then down here, you can have it set to notify on app, show pop-up, et cetera, and then you can set your message down here. So right here we have EG, so I can type in like EG 4-hour K2 signal, and every time I get a signal, this is what's going to pop up. I have it here on show pop-up, so it's going to pop up on here. I also have it set to notify on app, so it's also going to give you an alert on your phone if you have the TradingView app on your phone as well. So that's pretty much how you set up. That's pretty much how you set up the alerts. It's really simple. But depending on what time frame you want to have it set on, you'll just change your time frame from 4 hour to 1 hour to 30 minutes to 15 minute, etc. And then you can go ahead and set up your alert right there. So hopefully that helps, City. I know it's a little confusing for some people, but if you don't get it, just let me know and I can be a little more detailed. But I think that pretty much sets everything up for you for the most part. Let me check this real quick. All right, cool. I just want to make sure all of my questions were, somewhat answered right now. Okay, so Idia wants me to look at gold real quick. So I'm going to pull up gold. Let me just look at US 30 again. US 30 is still within the zone. So we're just going to keep watching it, guys. Hopefully we get a signal before 10, because if we get it after 10, I think it might be too late. Because if you guys are familiar with how I analyze US 30 with regard to the specific sessions, generally price will bounce around from session to session. So looking at right here, 6:30 is the US session. It's when the New York Stock Exchange opens. Right here is the London session. So you can see for the London session, price was bullish, it went up. And then as soon as it went to another session right here, US session, it came down. So once we enter the Asia session right here, this would be the Aussie session. This can continue down right here. And then once it reaches this point, it can either shoot up or continue back down. So the thing is, we don't want to get caught in any uncertain movements, because if we enter a buy right here, so say if we get a buy signal and then it shoots up right here, last thing we want to do is be caught in this trade and then it ends up going down, like it ends up going south, because we're not 100% sure how the market will move in the next session. That's why I generally only trade the New York session or the London session if I'm awake during that time, because price will end up going the opposite direction from session to session. You don't want to get caught on the wrong side. Oh, nice. Okay, so City got it, so he's good. I'm gonna go back to Yedia's question about gold. So we're gonna go and check out gold real quick. And this is the cool thing about the K2 indicators, guys. Like, you guys can see how I analyze all of these charts, or all of these pairs. The K2 strategies and indicators work across the board for any asset. You can use it for gold, you can use it for oil, you can use it for Bitcoin. It works for literally anything. So this is like your one-stop shop depending on what you're trying to trade. But looking at gold right here, this is what we analyzed last week. It looks like it played out exactly how I mentioned, right? So if you guys were in the live trading room on Thursday or Friday, I analyzed this as a sell, and it was stuck within this little zone right here. I mentioned that if price was to break below, it hit full TP, and that's exactly what happened here. So I'll go ahead and analyze this from scratch. So let me just delete everything so you guys can see how I analyze everything. Basically, I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to turn on the K2SR indicator, and then I'm going to draw my zones. So right here, I'll draw this upper zone right here. Let's draw one big one right there. Got a couple of zones over here. And you can see that price generally respects these zones throughout time. It doesn't matter if it happened, months ago, days ago, weeks ago. it almost always respects these zoned areas with time. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. So I've drawn these zones. You know, on top of this, we're going to need the lower zones as well, because we don't have a lower zone. I'm going to go on the higher time frame, the 8 hour. There's no zone there. I'm going to go on the daily. And here we go. Price rejected exactly off this lower zone right here. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the 4 hour, take off the K2SR indicator, and then I'll show you exactly what I mean about these zones respecting with time. So you can see here, we zoomed out and I just drew these zones right now, right? So you can see the same exact zone down here was tested back in May of 2020. So way back, like how many months is that? May? That's probably like 6 months from now, right? Or yeah, about 6 to 12 months. You can see price comes back and retest the same exact zone that it's tested way back in May. So you can see the last time price broke the zone, it shot way up here. And the last time price rejected off the zone or broke below it, which was, let's see. Yeah, so price only got to this price point back in May. So it looks like it had a huge bullish move from March 2020. This is when COVID happened. It shot up super heavy from this point to here. Then it started to come right back down to where price currently is. So price is actually in a very critical price point right now, because where price currently is right now, it can either correct back up, because you can see that it's now within this range. So this is basically like a big range right here, from here to down here. So it's bouncing up and down from this point. What can happen right here is price can reject off this point and correct back up. So if I go ahead and turn on the K2 momentum indicator, we got a sell signal right here, right? If price rejects off this structure right here and we get a buy signal, so say if we get a buy signal right here, then this will probably test this zone right here. After that, it might break past it and continue up even further. But right now we don't have a buy signal, right? So we still have a bearish bias right now. So the thing is, this doesn't necessarily mean that price is going to continue up right here. The thing is, if price continues back down, so say if it doesn't continue up and it just pulls back, because you can see right here that it's establishing lower lows. So we had a high right here. If you go ahead and analyze this from here, we have a high, we have a low right there, the lower high established right here, and then we had the low right here. It established a lower high right here, then a lower low right here. So what can happen here is it could establish another lower high, just like I analyzed earlier, and then it can break below here. And then if it breaks this price point, then it can continue down further, way down there. So the thing with gold right now is that there's some uncertainty until we have a buy signal. Like we won't take any buys, because price can literally come down further and just continue that bearish move. And then if it breaks down below here, it's probably going to continue dropping even further. The reason for this, I believe, is because of the COVID news. So we have like somewhat positive COVID news with the vaccine. And the thing with gold is that it's a safe haven currency. So, you know, if there's good news for the COVID vaccine, it's going to continue down further, because the US dollar is going to gain back in strength. People are taking their money out of gold, putting it back into the US dollar. So just looking at the US dollar right here, if the vaccine comes out soon within the next couple of months, which is, you know, what we expect to happen, people are going to take money away from gold and they're going to put it back into the US dollar. So I probably see it coming down further, guys. However, the thing is, I wouldn't enter a sell right now, because it can retrace up a bit before it comes crashing back down further. So you guys got to be patient and wait for that entry, because if you enter a buy or a sell right here, you can probably, I mean, you might get caught on the wrong side of the market, and that's what you don't want to do. You want to be patient, and you know, you're basically like fishing right now. You're fishing for this entry that hasn't appeared yet. So until it appears, I wouldn't take this this trade. Or I just wouldn't trade gold. I personally don't trade gold because it's highly manipulated. And you know, I'm sure you've seen a ton of people have blown accounts trading gold. because it's literally manipulated. You'll enter a sell here, price will spike up, stop you out, and then it'll come crashing down. Or you enter a sell right here. Say you enter a sell, it spikes up, stops you out. Oh no, sorry. If you enter a buy right here, it pulls back down, tests this zone right here, spikes you out, and then it shoots right back up. It's a never-ending cycle, and it's something that I don't recommend you trade unless you really know what you're doing with gold, because it's a high-risk asset for sure. GTA Minter said, did you do a zone analysis market video yesterday? So no, GTA, I didn't do it yesterday. I might do it later today, or I might do it, throughout this session. Reason I didn't do it yesterday is because the market was too slow, and when I got on, there was like price spiking back and forth. So the problem with price spiking back and forth like that actively is that it's going to create new zones, and I wanted the solid zones to be created before I set it up. So I might do it a little later today, or I might do it during the session, but I'll try to draw those zones up for you guys. Or GTA, if there's a specific zone that you want me to provide for you, I can pull it up for you right now, because I've drawn the zones myself for every pair. I just didn't record it because I did it really fast. I did it within a few minutes because I was looking for trades last night, specifically. Yeah, David said don't trade it, don't trade gold. It's just it's too risky. So yeah, looking back at US 30 again right here, it looks like it might break below the zone right here. So good thing we didn't take the sell, because price literally shot right below, like the last candle right here. Oh, look at that drop. It's dropping like heavy right now. Dang. So we'll wait and see how this plays out. I mean, thankfully we didn't take that buy right there, because it's starting to drop heavy. If we took that buy right there, we probably would have gone stopped out at some point. Yeah. So that's what I mean about being patient with your trades, guys. Don't force any trades, because there's a lot that can happen right now, especially with the COVID news, especially with the holidays. There's just a lot going on in the market that can cause price to spike around. So the Nikola shares it crashed again. Wow, look at this. Wall Street sell-off picks up steam. So this thing's starting to drop even further, guys. Wall Street sell-off picks up steam. Dow falls 400 points to cut into November's big gain down. And that's why I don't hold these long term. Like some people like to hold US 30, for days, weeks. They like to swing trade it. But imagine if you were holding US 30. So say if you were holding US 30 on the 4-hour, and then you bought like right here, and you made your profit, and you didn't close out your profit. You ended up holding on to it. You would have lost all of your gains if you were, holding it long term. Because I know a lot of people like to buy and hold US 30, but I think it's just way too risky, especially during a time like this. All right, David said, want to show me UJ zones? Let me pull up UJ real quick. Man, the zones for UJ are kind of messy, but they do the job. So looking at UJ right here, I'll show you guys where the zones are. So price is currently right here within these two zones. This upper zone right now, David, is going to be 104.512. And I'm going to skip this zone right here because price just crossed it. But this lower zone right here is going to be 104.023. So just looking at UJ right here, the same price zone that's getting tested right now was tested last week on the 16th. And then it was tested all throughout the month of October. So just looking at this zone right here, I'm going to see, generally I like to look at the current zones to see if it's like a highly tested area. It looks like it hasn't really been, I mean, it's been tested a lot like the past couple months, but before that, not so much. Yeah, so it tested it back in 2018, then it was like way up here. It tested it again in 2019, then it was way up here again. So it just keeps bouncing back and forth. But more recently, it's just been ranging within this area currently. But looking at price right here, let me turn on the momentum indicator. We do have a buy signal. So I think it's going to push up even further, David. I think it's going to push up to this next zone up here at 104.0 800. So David said TP at 105.210. Oh, you have a way TP up there. That's a pretty high TP. Let me see. I'm gonna go and mark that up real quick. 105.210. Damn, it's a big move. Actually, no, you're pretty solid, because that's exactly so like right here we have the buy signal, right? We have the buy signal. If it breaks this zone right here, then you have a really good chance of it reaching that high, because if it breaks the zone, it's going to test this zone right here. And then if it rejects off here, that might happen. Another scenario is it continues up further and retest that area that you just mentioned. But for that, I would probably move your your TP a little lower, because it's right at the tip of that zone. So maybe move it down to like maybe 105, 150, or I don't know, it depends. I would just move it a little lower than where you currently have it, because that would be like the very tip of it. I'm trying to see the last time it tested that. So the last time it tested that was actually on November 8th. So price shot up right there. It broke right past it, and then it pulled right back down. The time before that was right here. Oh, look, check this out, David. This is kind of similar. So in September, it rejected off this upper zone right here, like it did currently. And then it shot right past it. So technically, you could break right through it. I think it's a good TP if you're going for that long shot, but I would probably move it a little lower. Either move it a little lower or move your stop loss and profit as it continues to move up. Because in September, it did the same thing. It rejected off the same zone where it did today. And then it shot up way past, all the way up to 106.110. But I can't remember if there was something that caused this push, if there was some type of news. But the US dollar does look strong, with regard to the OPEC meeting earlier, plus the COVID news. If the vaccine comes out, it's going to push it up even further. So I think you're in a good spot, but I personally would, you know me, I'm a careful trader. So I would probably move your TP a little lower, or move your stop loss and profit as it continues to move. So that looks good. Hopefully, as long as we don't get a sell signal, or if we don't get a rejection off any of these zones right here, then I think you should be perfectly fine. But, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Yeah, City said CD leg completion. So I'm not sure if you're talking about the, I forgot what that strategy was called. Oh, the Elliott wave. I'm not sure if you're talking about Elliott wave, or if you're talking about, I'm trying to think. Because if you are talking about Elliott wave, the problem with Elliott wave is that it's super subjective. I like the Elliott wave, but I feel like it only plays out sometimes. And then sometimes when it doesn't play out, I tend to ignore it, because I'm like, it should have played out. So looking at the Elliott wave right here, I could see where City's talking. Oh, he's talking about harmonics. So if you're looking at Elliott wave right here, you can see that it would continue to move right there if you're looking at Elliott wave. But the problem with the Elliott wave is that this is super subjective, because the problem with this is, so this is how we would analyze it if we wanted to play out in what we're looking for. But in reality, it could play out in a lot of ways. Like it could play out from here to down there to down there. See, this could have been another Elliott wave right there. So that's the problem with using a lot of these pattern strategies, because the thing with these pattern strategies is that what I see could be totally different from what you see. So that's why I personally don't trade patterns at all. Like, the Elliott wave right here, if you were to analyze that from this low, from this low, it'd be from low, high, low. I don't even know how this would work out like that. It'd be something like that. So the thing is, these points could be different. Like my low, my high could be totally different from your low, high. And that's personally that's just my perspective of it, of how I analyze it. I like to analyze things that are objective, where there's no guesswork. I want to just have 2 scenarios. I don't want to have like 5 or 6 scenarios that can play out, because that just creates uncertainty in the market, and then it just lowers your confidence, you know, because when you're taking a trade, you have to be 100%. You can't be on the fence about it. You have to be either 100% in it or 100% out of it. Because that could be the difference between winning or losing a trade. Looking back at US 30 right now, it just, I don't know. We'll keep waiting for this until we get a signal, but it's currently within the zone again. So it's probably either going to break above here or break below at this point. So let's wait and see how that plays out. Let's see, Jbase said gold for sell. So no, JB, we were analyzing gold earlier. Everyone was saying not to trade it. I say not to trade it as well. But you know, if everyone else says not to trade it, I think there's something behind that. Not to trade it, because the thing with gold right now is, like I mentioned, we have a sell bias right now. However, price can pull up a bit to like this point before it comes back down. So I wouldn't take a sell until it breaks below this structure right here, because it can pull back still. There's no guarantee it's going to come down, because we do have positive vaccine news right now for COVID. However, that news could only last so long. You know, it could go from positive to negative real quick. And if that happens, this will spike right back up. So I personally wouldn't trade gold right now until either we get a buy signal that shoots it above, or until price breaks below here and it continues that downtrend even further. So it's just a matter of time before we could figure that out. But currently right now, I don't think it's a safe trade to take. Let's see. David said there's liquidity right above those 2 4-hour wicks. Let me go back to UJ real quick. I'm trying to see where you were talking about, David. So you said these 2. Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about these 2 wicks right here, right? The ones that just passed. Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, that's why we have a zone down here, because price rejected off the zone, came right back up. So it can continue back up, I guess. But like I mentioned, I would have to wait for this to close above here for me personally to take it. You're already in the trade, so that's perfectly fine. But if it does close above here, that'll give you extra confirmation that your trade is, you know, going to play out. So I think you have a good entry for that buy. You know, looking at the other JPY pairs, we have, you know, odd JPY right here. We obviously want this to shoot up. K² Jpy is bullish, sort of. It's bullish, pulled back a little bit. EJ bullish, pulled back a little bit as well. Same with GJ, bullish right there. NJ bullish but small pullback. So all of these kind of they all correlate. You know, it's a major pair paired with JPY, or a major currency paired with JPY. So I anticipate this to continue up as well. Let's see. Man, I keep looking at your name, Ron Mexico, and it makes me want to call you Ron. Wait, David. Okay, so Ron, I said Ron again. David said 105.10. So 105.10. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying right here. Huge wicks. I mean, this is a huge wick right here too as well. So I could see that playing out. I still think it's going to be bullish though, so it should be good for the most part. David, I would hang on to it. I might even hop in with you, just take a speculative trade because I trust you. All right, but yeah, for UJ, I would wait for it. Me personally, I'm not going to call a signal until I get price up here. This is going to give us enough cushion for a 30 pip push. But if that does happen, you know, expect me to call a buy for UJ, especially because we have an AJ trade, and you know, overall we want it to be bullish because we want all of our TPs to hit. Going back to US 30 right here, we did get a buy signal. However, we still have 7 minutes left on this clock. So until then, you know, we're just going to keep sitting tight, waiting for this trade to close so we can take that buy. But until then, you know, we still don't have an entry. I just got an alert, breaking news, stocks making its biggest moves midday: Moderna, IHS, Nikola, Carnival, and more. So let me go over to the news real quick. Here we go. We got this over here. Okay, we got biggest moves midday. Moderna shares were at like 14% because they have that COVID trial. IHS, that's S&P. We're not trading S&P, so Nikola dropped 25% again. Feel bad for the guys who bought into Nikola. Apple, more than 1% bullish. Salesforce, they're gonna buy Slack, 4% up. Delta is down 2%. Bank of America. Yeah, so it's a mixed market right now, guys. So like not everything is bullish. Only certain things, you know, with regard to COVID is bullish. Everything else looks like it's dropping. And then looking over at the main CNBC website as well, everything is still pretty bearish. The Dow Jones is down 1.28%. It's down 381 points. S&P is down 0.88%. NASDAQ is down 1.57%. And the Russell 2000 is down 1.45% as well. So everything is pretty much down right now, guys. And that's why I'm really cautious with this US 30 trade. So if we don't get an entry within the next hour, we're probably going to skip US 30 today, because like I mentioned, when price goes from session to session, it generally goes opposite. So if we take a buy right here, or if we get a buy, you know, once it reaches Asia session, it's probably going to drop even further. So that's why I don't recommend taking the daily entry if it gets too late. So we'll have to, I mean, it's just Monday, guys. So don't try to force any trades or rush anything, because we have a lot of time in the week. We don't have to take every trade right now. We have a lot of time before we close out this trading week. I got a couple messages. I'm gonna message everyone later. But yeah, guys, game of patience. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I think as of now, there's not really much to look at. We're still waiting for US 30 to give us a buy signal so we can take that buy. But if we don't get it, we're probably not going to take a buy. Looking at the USD pairs right here, here's UJ for David. Still looks good. But like I mentioned, I'm just going to wait for it to close above here before we decide to take that trade. Let's see what else we got over here. I'm just going to go down the list, guys, because it's 9 o'clock. We have about an hour until the next candle close. So I'm just going to mark up these with a highlighter just to know what to look out for once we get to that point. Odd CHF not looking so hot. AJ is still around entry point. Odd NCD, we could probably enter this for late entry. I'll just mark it up just in case. Odd USD is coming down. So guys, the USD is actually really strong right now because of the COVID vaccine news and the OPEC news as well. So those two are pushing the US dollar in strength, but we don't know how long that's going to last. Price can come down from this point, reject off here, and continue back upwards. However, price can also continue down, break through this point, and shoot even further. So we have two scenarios that are playing out right now for the USD pairs, which is pretty solid. But yeah, if this breaks below here, then I'll take a sell position right there, ride it to the next zone over here for about 40 pips. But if it doesn't, then we're going to wait for another buy signal to correct back upwards. So I'm going to mark that up right there. But the US dollar is kind of strong right now. So we'll see how this plays out. It might come down, might not. We'll just wait for that to play out. Let's keep going down these real quick. All right, Shawn wants us to take a look at NASDAQ 100. I'll take a look at that real quick. Let me just finish going through these just to confirm that we don't have any entries coming up. So this, if price breaks above this zone right here, we can catch this, shoot up right there. So I'm gonna mark this up right here, catch CHF, possible entry. K² Jpy, this, I might call this as a late entry right now because this is actually a pretty decent trade. 65 pips. So I might call this as a late entry right now, guys. Let me just make sure everything else is cool. I'm just gonna go back to K² Jpy because it looks like all the JPY pairs are good, especially after that analysis with David right now. It looks like it could play out. We had this entry right here for EA. Unfortunately, I didn't call it because of the news earlier, but it's still in profit right now. It looks like it could be hitting full TP at some point. But it's too late for me to call at this point, so I'm not going to call it. Nothing for Euro CAD, Euro CHF. Yeah, I'm not going to touch the CHF pairs because they're super affected with the news earlier. EJ right here, a little bit of some pullback. Yeah, I wouldn't take that right now. Euro NZD sounds pretty far down. If I get a sell signal, I'll take the sell there, but nothing right now. GA. See, this would have been a good entry right here too, but due to the news, unfortunately, I didn't get to call it. But yeah, this would have been a nice entry right there. It looks like it would have hit, TP1, TP2 up to full TP right here, but it's just too late to enter that call. Just keep in mind, guys, that you guys shouldn't be rushing trades, Sunday, Monday, because we still have a full week. So there's no need to force any trades right now because we still have a lot of time on the clock for the rest of this week. So looking at this right here, this could have been a good entry right here for GJ. Maybe a late call, but we'll think about that in a bit. See GN right here, nothing there. GU. Man, we've been holding this GU for a while. I was waiting for it to hit full TP the other day, but it just never hit. It got really close. Look at this right here. It got about 4 or 3 pips away from full TP. And this is when I kept reminding everyone to move your stop loss in profit or close it in profit because, something like this can happen where it reverses on you. So hopefully most of you guys got out of that trade. NZD CAD right here would look like a nice sell if we got a sell signal. So I'm going to mark this up right here just in case. NZD CHF. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to ignore the CHF pairs right now because of that spike up in price due to the news earlier. NZD CHF could be a nice entry right here. Similar with all the JPY pairs. So the JPY pairs all look bullish. This might be a nice late entry right here for NZD JPY. So on top of this, I'm going to have to get that next zone because we don't have an upper zone right here. So looking at this, there's nothing on the 4-hour, 8 hours right here. Go on the daily over here. Nothing there either. Sorry guys, my dog is growling. So this next zone is way up here. So yeah, I might call this for a late entry. And then, so I might call these for late entry. NJ, CJ, looking at NU right here. UCAD. Oh, this hit full TP already, so we're done with this trade. USD CHF. Let's see. This trade is still active, so hopefully a lot of you guys close out in profit. But if you guys are still in it, I think it's still going to come down. It was just like I mentioned earlier, CHF spiked because of the news, but it might correct back down. That's why I'm not going to touch any CHF pairs because I'm not sure if it's going to continue that direction or if it's going to correct back down. So I don't want to chase this this spike in price, because generally what happens if you try to chase a trade, like see right here, you see the spike up. If you try to take a buy right here, what ends up happening is as soon as you take a buy at this very top, it spikes right back down and corrects into the direction that it was moving in. So that's why for me, I don't chase these spikes in price because these are manipulated moves, and odds are probably going to correct back down to where it was previously. And that's why our stop loss is kind of wide, guys, because see, I got a message from Ark. Ark, don't you're doing too much, Ark. Just don't do more than what I've already recommended that you do, because every session you hear something that I say and you want to do something that I tell you not to do, and you do it and you end up messing up your account. So don't do anything extra. I've already talked to you about what you should be doing. If you're still in here, Ark, hopefully you are. If you're still in this live, stop trying to do too much. My advice to you is going to be the same every single week. Every week you ask me if you should do something different, and my answer is always going to be the same. It's going to be no. Do what I've been telling you from day one, and you should be fine. So don't trade London, because that's, you traded London before, and that's what got you into this hole. So if you keep doing something that I'm not advising you to do, then you're going to keep digging a deeper hole for yourself. So don't do that. Just do what I already told you to do. Stick to one thing, because you're just going to end up blowing your account. And, I'm trying to help you as much as I can, but you need to listen to me and not do too much. So Arik, don't go off track. Just follow what I told you from day one and continue to do what I've been telling you. Because if you try to do more than you can handle, you're going to blow your account. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm not sure if you're still on this call, Arik, but if you are, I just saw your message, and I'll respond to you in a little bit. I just don't have time right now, but I'll respond to you when I get a chance if you're not in this live right now. But okay, so sorry, Shawn, I'm going to go look at NASDAQ right now. I know you asked for that earlier, so let me just pull that up. But yeah, Arik, if you're still in here, just hang tight. Don't do too much, because you're gonna end up you might end up digging a deeper hole. So chill out for a bit. All right, here's NASDAQ US 30 trade. I keep getting the signals, guys. That's why I pulled up US 30, but it didn't close. So we're still waiting for that. It's 9 o'clock. So if it hits 10, we're probably going to skip US 30 for today, because we don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the trade. Okay, looking at NASDAQ over here, I'm going to go and turn on the momentum indicator. I'm going to set up the timeline for market open right here at 6:30. So if you took this trade right here, Shawn, using the daily strategy, it's not an official strategy for the other indices, but I know a lot of other people do use it. So if you're using the daily strategy for NASDAQ right here, it looks like you would have hit full TP already. So if you're looking to enter this trade right now, it looks like it might be a little too late. But if you did take this trade, it would have hit full TP already, Shawn. I'm not sure if you applied the strategy or if you thought about applying it, but this would be the entry, because the New York Stock Exchange opened at 6:30 right here. So after the market opened, we had the first sell signal right here. Price kind of retraced up a little bit, and then it did what it always does. It went with the direction of momentum and hit full TP right here. So I'm not sure if you took that trade, Shawn. I don't know if that's why you're asking, but it would have hit full TP already currently. And me personally, I'd be out of the trade by now. But looking over at this right here, let me go ahead and draw these zones. So I'm not sure how you trade NASDAQ, Shawn. I don't know if you want me to analyze it on a shorter time frame, if you want me to analyze it on the higher time frame. If you could be a little more specific, then I could, analyze it how you want me to, because I could analyze it on the shorter time frame. I can analyze it on the higher time frame. It's really up to you how you want me to analyze this pair, because you can see they're totally different. Like if you look on the 1 hour on the higher time frame, then we can be looking for way different zones over here, obviously. Hey, what's up, Dilraj? Dilraj is here. So he said there's a lot of news tomorrow. I think there is as well. So let me look at the news. Yeah, there's a lot of news all day tomorrow. So I wouldn't trade during London session. Especially, I wouldn't trade during London session, and the Fed speaking tomorrow. Federal Powell, he's speaking tomorrow morning. So we might not even trade tomorrow morning, guys. We might wait until after 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. and then take some trades. But even at then, there's news throughout the entire day. There's news during London session. There's news during U.S. session, and there's news during Aussie session as well at 4 p.m. So it's a heavy news day tomorrow. It's a little too risky for us to really take any risky trades. But yeah, I personally wouldn't trade during London session tomorrow, because we have GBP news at 1:30, then we have CAD news at 5:30. So even if you enter a trade within that little time zone right there, you still would be caught in some risky moves, because we do have US news in the morning as well. So if you're trading London session tomorrow, be careful. But there's a lot of different factors that could be factoring in against your position if you do have any active positions during that time. But yeah, looking at NASDAQ right here, this is on the higher time frame. I'm just going to draw these zones. There's a ton of zones here because price was kind of choppy for the past couple of weeks, past couple months. But yeah, after drawing these zones, we can take a look further. Let's see. I might even have to go on the higher time frame to draw these zones because these zones are so messy. And the thing is, price hasn't been above here in a while. So let me get the higher times. Yeah, so we have that zone up there. We also have a zone right here. There's a ton of zones, guys. So looking on the shorter time frame right here, price is in a big zoned area. I mean, you can see that price does respect these zones. However, it's kind of hard for you to really picture when and where to trade because you can see price is testing these zones here, but it's so messy where it's just bouncing around. So looking at the 10-minute right here, it looks super messy. We go on the 30-minute right here. It still looks messy. It looks the same. Go on the 1 hour. Turn on the momentum indicator. We did get a sell signal right there. So the problem with the NASDAQ is even if you take a sell right here, it can reject at any point. So price already rejected off this point. It shot up to here. It can reject off this point as well. And then even if it comes down from here, it could reject off here, here, or here. There's so many points where price can reject from. And you can see right here that its price has been choppy. Price will go from up here, and then it'll just bounce around from zone to zone. I personally wouldn't trade NASDAQ right now because of what's going on with, you know, the news, COVID, stuff like that. Because even though, you know, the like Moderna or any of those stocks, they don't directly affect NASDAQ. They do affect them to some extent because if the vaccine comes out, all of these techie stocks are probably going to go a little lower because people are going to go back to work, obviously, right? So it doesn't affect it directly, but it does affect it indirectly because there's other factors that will tie into, you know, the NASDAQ stocks right here. So you can see how choppy it's been for, let's see, it's been choppy since the beginning of the month. All of November, it's just been bouncing around back and forth. You can see right here, it was way smoother in October. It was consolidating for a bit, but then it was super smooth up until November right here. And then it started to get a bit choppy because there's a lot of new COVID news that was coming out that would affect, you know, a lot of stuff with regard to the NASDAQ techie stocks. So Deshaun, I personally wouldn't trade NASDAQ right now. If you want to trade it, it's going to be a big risk because the COVID news, if it continues to be good, it'll spike down even further. I'm assuming it'll keep spiking it down a bit, but it's very speculative. The thing is, it can, if the COVID news is bad and, you know, the vaccine doesn't get approved by the FDA, it'll probably shoot up a bit, but we don't know how long it'll shoot up for. So I haven't seen Deshaun respond back yet with regard to, you know, if he wanted me to analyze it on the shorter time frame or on the larger time frame. But just looking at it from a bigger perspective, like from a big picture, it's just super messy right here. There's a lot of points of rejection. I probably wouldn't hold it long term. I'd probably just scalp it. And then if I'm scalping right here on the 10-minute, I mean, it's still messy as well. So let me turn on the momentum indicator. We do have a buy signal right here. So in order for me to take a buy right here, I'd wait for it to break above this point and then pretty much ride it to this next zone up here, which would probably be about a, you know, 300 pip move. I don't trade NASDAQ, so I'm not sure if that's a big move or not, but that's what it looks like. I'd wait for it to break that zone and then I would ride it up. Exactly what happened right here. We had a buy signal, price broke the zone, shot up to here, would have hit your full TP, consolidated, and then shot up a little further. So that's basically what I see right here if you were looking to enter a buy. However, if we get a sell signal and it closes below here, then you might want to take a sell. But the problem with that is that there's only so much space between this zone and this zone right here for about 130 pips. So I probably wouldn't take that trade right there. It's just too uncertain whether, you know, the direction of price. So if I just delete everything again and then redraw these zones on the shorter time frame, the problem with drawing zones on the shorter time frame is that they're not very strong. they're weak zones because there's a lot of noise that is tied in with these zones right here. So even though we draw these zones right here, there's still a ton of noise where price doesn't necessarily need to respect these specific zoned areas. Sorry guys, checking back at US 30, we do have that buy signal, about 6 minutes left. I'll come back and check on that again. So looking at these zones right here, let me see if I can get a lower zone. So price is down here. There's some zones down here. And, you know, regardless as to what time frame we're analyzing this on, the zones are still kind of similar. So there's still noise regardless. So go back on the 10-minute right here. Hide the K2SR indicator, zoom out from this point. Here, let me check. Sorry guys, I'm getting some messages in the group. So Carrie, if you're in this, I don't know if Carrie's in this this live right here. So Carrie, I'll get to your question in a bit. I know you did private message me, so let me check this real quick. All right, so I'll have to get back to your question, Carrie, because your question isn't time sensitive right now. We're currently trading live, so I'll get back to your question eventually. You know, unless it's really time sensitive, then I'll have to hold off on that because we're currently trading right now. So I will get to your question later, Carrie, if you're still in the, I'm assuming you're not in this chat, so, or you're not in the live. Let's see, Shawn said, yeah, I'm going to buy the dip. Yeah, so he's trying to buy the dip right here. And, you know, that's exactly what I was mentioning right here, Shawn. So looking at the momentum indicator right here, we did get that buy signal. If price closes above this point right here, so this price point is 12218.2. So price closes above here, then I would take that buy and then pretty much ride it up and then just move your stop loss as it continues to, you know, push up further. But yeah, currently right now it's just a risky trade. But if you do want to take that buy, it looks like a lot of people are starting to buy the dip right now. Same with our US 30 right here. You know, if we get a buy signal right there and it closes, then I'm probably going to take that. So we got 3 minutes left on this candle. After we take this trade, we'll see what happens. Just a reminder, guys, if you guys take this trade, always remember to move your stop loss and profit because it's a risky time to trade right now with how the market's moving. Because the you know, all of the indices are moving, or you know, basically all these indexes are moving down right now. So the problem with that is that it's an overall push down for today. People are obviously trying to buy the dip, but we don't know if that push up is going to be strong enough for us to ride the full TP because it is 9 o'clock. You know, once we reach the next trading session over here, this could probably, you know, reject off it. So, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But if we do get this buy signal that closes, then we'll probably take it, and then we will continue from there. Let me go ahead and check this out real quick. Here, let me see if I could. Sorry, I was trying to answer some questions for people, but yeah, I could probably do that. All right, cool. Yeah, I was trying to answer some guys' questions in the group right now, so it looks fine. Nice. So Shawn got in at 12125. Let me pull that up real quick. Nice. 121. 2.5. Damn, you got in from that, like right from the bottom, Shawn. You caught that that close on there. So it rejected off this zone down here. It looks like you got in like right at the bottom. So it does look good. You're like deep in profit. What I would do, Deshaun, is I would move your stop loss and profit at this point, because right here price can reject off this point or it can continue. So depending on where it's at, you know, we'll see how that plays out. But I think it's going to continue up. If US 30 is moving up, you know, all the other indices might be moving up as well. So yeah, RX said almost a signal on US 30. That's what we're waiting for right now as well, RX. So we're waiting for this to close. If it closes in the next minute, we will take this entry. So I got my trade ready, set up. If it closes, I'm going to enter at market. We got 50 seconds, guys. Let me see, US 30 buy. I'm just going to set up this entry right here. So we got 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds for takeoff. Let's see how this plays out. All right, so I got this trade already set up right here. I'm going to, we got 15 seconds, guys. Let's see if it closes. All right, countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. No signal, guys. All right, looks like we're waiting for the next one. No entry there, so we're holding off on that, unfortunately. So it's getting close to 10, guys. If it's 10, we're probably not going to take the trade like I mentioned, but if it closes before that, then we might take it. But there's just no entry right now. So no buy entry for US 30 just yet. Go ahead and take a look at everything else. K² Jpy. Man, like the market is like all over the place. So UJ's up, NJ's down. I was thinking about making some last minute calls on these. NZD CAD, nothing there. USD, I have all these marked up right here. Yeah, Peter said, I think today US 30 is risking. It's moving really slow. So yeah, that's a problem. See, the thing is, it's like just going sideways right now because everyone is speculating right now. So everyone is waiting for price to spike up or to spike down. So the thing with US 30 is like nobody's really messing with US 30 right now because this spike already happened, right? This big spike down happened. So what people are doing is they're waiting for momentum to dictate the future direction. If price is either going to continue up or if it's going to correct back up or if it's going to drop back down. So people are waiting for price to shoot up maybe up here, then people will take buys and it'll shoot right back up, or waiting for price to drop down here, then price will just spike right back down. So it's definitely a risky trade to take right now. So I don't really mind if it reaches 10 o'clock and there's no signal. I'm just not going to take it because price can go either direction at this point. There's no one direction that US 30 will move. Obviously, you know, if you guys have been trading US 30 with us, we generally don't like to take trades that are this late into the market because it just causes uncertainty, you know, throughout the market. So let me go ahead and wait on this. It is 9:30, so it looks like. See, Matt said it closed on Owanda data, so let's pull up Owanda data. See, this is why I don't trade the Owanda data because the Owanda data is generally usually less accurate than the currency.com data, because the currency.com data uses actual futures data while the Owanda data uses the indices data. So it's a little different. You can see here that it usually lines up for the most part, but a lot of times, or like a lot of times where it's a critical trading, like a trading day that's like really critical, it's generally not on point. It usually comes a little too early or comes a little too late. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, if you guys want to take that, Matt, I know you saw that on the Owanda data. If you guys want to take it and, you know, take the risk, feel free, but I personally only use currency.com data. So I don't want to go and veer off onto Oanda.com because I want to like hop into the trade. But yeah, if you enter the Oanda data, there would have been a signal right here on this previous one. But I always recommend using currency.com. It's just too risky, especially with with how the market's been moving today. So looking at this right here, looks like we might get an entry. I'm not going to make that late call for K² Jpy just yet, or NJ, because they're both, it's dropped down pretty heavy, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Damn, I'm at 25 messages. Let me see who's been messaging me. All right, cool. All right, sorry guys, I'm looking at my messages right now. I'm just waiting for this to play out. So yeah, if you guys want to enter that trade early off the Oanda entry, you guys can. I personally am just going to wait for this to close because I want that full confirmation, but that's good. So the thing is, if we have a buy signal there for Oanda and we have this buy signal on currency.com, it's probably going to shoot up because we have that double confirmation already. Me personally, I want to have that. I want to wait for that specific double confirmation because it's just a risky time to trade it right now. And it's kind of late into the market. So I'm personally going to wait for it. But if you guys are feeling bold, feel free to enter the trade already. Yeah, exactly, Matt. I just want to be 100% because just with how the market's moving, I don't want to jump the gun and then be mad at myself for getting in too early. But it looks like this is going to close. If it does close here, it should be good. See, I got my charts ready right here. We got 5 minutes left on it. And then after we take this US 30 trade, guys, I'm going to take a look at the rest of the Forex pairs because we do have the next 4-hour candle closing in a bit. And once we get that, then we'll be good. All right, let me continue on this over here. So size at work right now. Let me tell them. All right, cool. That looks cool. Let me see what else we got here. Nice. All right, guys, we got 3 minutes left on this candle. Come on, let's close with that buy so we can enter this trade. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting patiently with us, so we will see how that plays out. Oh, it says still in review. All right, 2 minutes. Yeah, guys, I'm just not looking at it because I know if I keep looking at it, it's gonna make me want to enter it. But we'll just be patient with it. We have 2 minutes left. I'm just gonna scroll through all of these FX pairs to make sure there are still some decent entries. So you see these spikes in price right here. You see this huge wick for odd CAD. That's why we wait for the candle to close. It's about a 15 to 20 pip spike up. So the thing is, if you just if you don't wait for the candle to close, you can end up on the wrong side of the market. And that's why we're very patient with our entries, because we don't want to get in when price is, not done forming yet for that specific pair. And this hit full TP already, so we're done with that. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 active trades right now still, guys. So that's it for our active trades right now. Let's pull back US 30. All right, guys, we got about a minute left. is going to test our patience. So let's see how this plays out. All right, nice. It's pushing up nice. So I do like to see that that momentum right there. So you guys can see the momentum, right? Price came down, shot up, came back down, retested for like some sort of double bottom right here. And then you see this nice bullish move right here. You see it rejected off this point, established a low. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish candles right here. So with that said, it's probably going to continue up if it closes. So that's what we're waiting for right here. We got about a minute left on the clock. Let's see if this closes. Hopefully it does, so we can actually take this trade. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We got 50 seconds left, guys. Give it some time. All right, we got some right here. All right, perfect. 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds, and then we can possibly take this entry. 20 seconds. Oh my gosh. I'll have to hit up Aaron about this. Where's Aaron? Is Aaron in this chat? He's not. He's probably sleeping. Oh, there's Aaron, man. Aaron's messaging me. Let me, oh, guys, looks like there was no signal there, unfortunately. That's what I mean about patience, guys. Let me tell Aaron. Aaron, are you in this? Oh, this fucking guy. I'm gonna pull Aaron into this Zoom, hang out with us for a bit. Let's see if Aaron comes in real quick. Sent him the invite. Yeah, man, where's Aaron? This dude's always lagging. Always. All right, here we got another buy signal. And so if you guys took that last one for Awanda, Matt, like we were mentioning, being profit already, 300 pips, not bad. But you know, I'd rather have 1,500 pips than 300 pips, because the problem is, even though it's slightly in profit, it doesn't guarantee it's going to continue in that direction until we have that full confirmation. So let's see if Aaron hops into this. He probably will. Let me see. David's leaving work. He wants to enter this trade. Let's see. Yeah, Peter said, off topic, Shawn, have you used your Tesla ludicrous mode? So I did before. I used to have the performance model, but the main difference with the ludicrous mode is that it drains your battery super fast. So, and the thing is, I'm not trying to race it, you know, Model X. So I did have that for a little bit. I did use the ludicrous mode. It was freaking fun. But the thing is, Aaron's here. Yeah, so I did use it for a bit, but then I realized that I had to charge my car like every day. So I was like, damn, I'm not trying to charge this every single day. So what happened was I swapped it for a long range model. So I went back, I swapped my performance model for a long range model, and the long range model goes just as fast. It literally just the takeoff, I think, is like, here, let me look it up real quick. It's only off by like a second, so it's not really a huge difference when you're sorry, let me move this over. It's not a huge difference if you're just you know, if you're not trying to race somebody like a drag race, it only changes up by a bit. So the Model X is the Tesla that I got. So this is the one that I have right here. You see the speed. So the speed for actually we could just build one. So if you build one, yeah, guys, this is my Tesla. If you guys haven't seen it before, but I do have a Model X. I got this after trading FTMO for a couple months. You know, I was just so successful with FTMO. I was like, I might as well get a new car. So I have a long range model. This is the performance. So the performance, you only get 300-mile range, and you get 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, right? This is what I had originally, and then I swapped it for a long range plus. So you can see the huge difference. It's like, let me see, it was 300. So I get an extra like 71 miles. The top speed is 155 on mine. Top speed on the performance is just 13 miles faster. It's not that much faster. And the 0 to 60 is 2.6 on the performance, while it's 4.4 on the long range. So it doesn't make a huge difference unless you're like trying to drag race somebody. You know, if you kick the pedal on either one, you feel it move that fast. So I did use ludicrous mode before, and it was fun. Like for the first 2 weeks that I had it, and then I was like, all right, this is getting old because I got to charge my car so often. So I switched it for a long range instead. It's pretty much the same exact car. It's just it's not as fast, and it doesn't waste as much battery. So I think you'd have to test it yourself to see what I mean by that. But it feels the same if you kick the gas. The only difference is, you know, you're going to be a little slower by like a second. So it's not a huge deal, but it's nice, man. I love the car. Honestly, if I needed to rebuy a Model X, I would buy it again. It's a great car. Technology is freaking crazy in that car, especially with the autopilot. Yeah, I mean, you guys seen the video of me autopiloting. I just like, I'll autopilot and then I'll trade my US 31 while the car is driving itself. So it's a fun car to have, and it's super practical for like pretty much anything, because it's an SUV size, and I can pretty much put anything in it. But yeah, back to these charts. The Dow 30 is looking like it's dying down. So this is why I didn't take the other signal, Matt. So you can see the difference here. It's super risky if you were to take this Owanda entry, because momentum is still dying down. Looks like we might even get an opposite signal on the currency.com data. Man, where's Aaron at? He's over here trying to get ready. He's trying to get Aaron's been in the chat for a cool second. Where you at, Aaron?
I'm right here, bro.
Oh, there he goes. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, it was Aaron's birthday. This dude's old as hell now. It was Aaron's birthday last Saturday.
And not older than Honest. Shit.
And he's probably sitting in this chat right now, bro.
So, you know, he the oldest. You know, it's you. You know, it's you, then him, then I'm the baby. You feel me?
What did you do for your birthday? Did you do anything?
Just chill, watch that fight, bro.
Oh yeah, you watched a Tyson fight?
Yeah.
Man, I was hoping Tyson was gonna win.
I was trying to watch the I had bought to watch the Nate Robinson fight. To be honest, I don't really care about them like that. Tyson and.
Oh yeah, man, Nate Robinson, bro. I was messed up, bro. I was like, damn. It was so random to see him box. Has he boxed before? That was like his first time.
I don't know, man. I guess you know that the YouTuber was talking mess. Then, you know.
Oh, so
yeah. Yeah,
they were talking mess, and he like basically lured him into that fight. But that YouTuber is like way bigger than him, bro. I was like,
bigger, like dude is little.
Who, the YouTube guy or the other guy?
Nate Robinson is like 5'8" or something like that.
Yeah, Nate Robinson is like 5'8". I think that Jake guy was like 6'2" or something.
Like 6'2", and he had longer reach.
Yeah, I was like, man, I mean, it's whatever. It is what it is, really.
Hey, he wouldn't do me like that.
Right?
All I'm saying.
I'm gonna pull up those YouTube videos of you, bro.
Don't do it.
Those middle school videos of you.
Hey, you know, those are my old days.
Oh, man, you guys should see Aaron throw some hands.
I'm a Forex trader now.
He went from a boxer to Forex trader.
Kind of slow, huh?
Yeah, the market's really slow today, bro. So I only called one trade. And there was news that was just spiking price around for a lot of pairs.
What was that?
There was Euro news this morning, and there was OPEC news as well, where they were talking about the oil agreements.
Mm-hmm.
So they had that. There's no agreement that was made, but because of that, whatever was discussed at the OPEC meeting and the COVID news, the US dollar like gained in strength. So that's why all these US pairs kind of spiked in one direction. Like AUD USD spiked down. What else spiked down? Here USD spiked down. Pretty much all the USD pairs spiked like heavy. Right here, USD CHF too hit our TP right here, and then it spiked like heavy once the news started being released in the morning. So I'm taking it easy right now. What about you? You got a lot of trades running?
I mean, to be honest, bro, the crypto's been moving way faster than like the currency pair. So like the past few months, I've been focusing on Bitcoin and XRP, and they've been moving pretty fast, bro. You can make you a fast 200 pips like in an hour, bro. Just risk management, you'll be good.
Yeah, it Bitcoin shot up like crazy. I was talking about that earlier because I saw the little news event on CNBC. They said it went like for an all-time high. So I was still holding mine from last week. Dude, I went from like 200, 300 up to like almost 800 today because Bitcoin just keeps pushing up.
What's the price for it right now?
Dude, it's pretty high. Let me see. Bitcoin is at 19,412. It was up past it got past like 19,800 earlier. It's 19,830. So currently right now I'm pretty deep in profit. Let me check my my Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm still pretty high. I'm close to 800. I only had like 300 in there a couple of months ago, and it's up to like 800.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like when the coronavirus first hit, my little XRP account was like at 300, bro. I'm like, dang, I went to pull out so bad, but I'm like, man, I might as well hold it out. So I had held the trade, and now I'm up. Well, I was up 4,000, but now it's up like 2,700.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it shot up like crazy, bro. It's still. I'm just gonna leave it in there. I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm just gonna let it do whatever.
I mean, I see it shooting up to like soon, but that's a strong zone. Right now it's at last year's high, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, it's literally right there at the high from 2017, bro. The highest it's ever been, I think. Yeah. So I think if it breaks that zone, it'll like shoot high, bro. It'll continue. It'll probably go up to like 20, for sure 21, maybe like 24, 25.
So maybe, yeah, true.
I mean, it's crazy, man. It's unpredictable because like even last week, remember we were talking about this when we saw the rejection when it was at that same price point. I was worried it was going to come down, so I wanted to maybe close it out, but thankfully I held on to it, and I'm pretty much back in profit, so it's good.
Yeah, hopefully this weekend or later on throughout the week it shoots up even higher.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to leave it there anyway. So if it plays out, it does. If not, then that's cool too. We'll just see how it ends up. Oh man, David's back. So David over here left work to go enter this US 30 trade that never closed. We've been following US 30 this morning trying to cash this entry, but it just hasn't closed yet. Check this out.
But the market is so dead, just whenever the market is dead like this, I just like try to like hold on one second.
Yeah, I mean it is Monday too, so there's no. I mean, market's normally like this on Monday, anyways. Usually, but let me see US 30. Yeah, we got 8 minutes left on this candle, guys. So if you guys are still watching US 30, if we don't get this entry within the next 20 minutes, I'm probably not going to take it because it's getting too late into the session. And generally, like I mentioned, when it goes too late into the session, it's probably going to go the opposite direction once we enter the Aussie Asia session, and we don't want to get caught in holding the trade too late. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out. Hopefully we get a signal within the next 20 minutes. If not, then we'll probably sit out US 30 today and just focus on our Forex trade. So let me go scan through all of these pairs right here. I'm gonna see if there's any entries that are available right now. Odd-CAD, we would still be looking at that for a bit. Let's see. Odd NZD is way too late, guys. It dropped in profit again, so I'm going to take this off the watch list or off the waiting list for the next entry. Odd USD right here. The sell signal disappeared, so there it reappeared again. We would have to wait for this to close below here because price is too close to this next zone. 15 pips, not enough to take that risk to enter that sell position CAD CHF, nothing right here. We were waiting for this to shoot up above it actually, but no entry there. CHF pair has been manipulated a bit with the news earlier, so we're going to avoid that. CAD JPY, I might still call this for a late entry, guys, because the JPY pairs look like they're weak right now. They just had that small drop due to the COVID news and stuff, but I think it's going to come back up. Have you been looking at JPY pairs, Aaron?
Man, to be honest, bro, it's just like the market's been so dead, so I've been focusing more on crypto and stuff like that,
Yeah, because we were analyzing it earlier for David. He was looking at UJ, looked like a bullish move. So just looking at the rest of the NZD pairs, they all look pretty decent too. So I'm probably gonna call these 2 trades right now, just for some late entries. So let me just call this. We got some time before the next next entry. So let me what's wrong with my, sorry guys, I'm trying to fix this. Oops. I'm trying to control all this so I could delete it. Oh, there we go. All right. So we got a buy stop right here. So I'm just gonna call these 2 trades. Got this stuff. Okay, JPY. Man, I wonder how the market's gonna be during the holidays, because last year was kind of slow.
Exactly. So it's like, man, we got Christmas.
Yeah, it could be like a hit or miss. Sometimes like a lot of people want to trade and they just, the market gets crazy, or like a lot of people just learn about trading like during the holidays. Like, people have their little parties and stuff with their family, and they're like, oh, what you been doing? Trading? Oh, how do you do that? And then everyone hops into the market, and it just gets.
Wait, true.
Yeah, you just get a bunch of people that try to join the market. Got this right here. 32.
That boy type fast.
Be quick, man. You gotta be quick with it, or you're gonna miss this trade. But it's funny when I send a trade and like people miss it. I'm like, well, you gotta be faster.
Exactly.
I mean, that's really how it is, though. That's why I'd rather have people learn how to actually trade than like just copy my stuff, because sometimes you got to be able to think on your feet. Okay, JP right there. NCD. Pips. So, and you're still trading, you're trading XRP, or you're just buying and holding it? You don't actively trade it, huh?
I mean, to be honest, like whenever I like find like a buying opportunity, I would like add more, buy more on Coinbase.
Yeah.
Because man, after that L I took last week from XRP, I was hot. That was a no-no.
Exactly.
Like, bro, when I used the 0.20 lot size and it dropped 200 pips instantly, I'm like, okay, they want to do me like that?
For real. Yeah, that's the problem with the cryptos, bro. Like, it's kind of hard to really analyze them,
Yeah.
because they kind of do what they want. Sometimes those drop all of a sudden, like randomly. I feel like they don't really respect technicals as much, because there's not enough data. Like, it hasn't been around long enough for it to for people to really analyze it like that, like how we do Forex pairs and stuff.
Man, I just feel like that you should be trading up the higher time frame, because the 4-hour time frame is cool sometimes, but man, like it's a lot of fake outs happening on the lower time frame, so you have to be very careful.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%. That's why for those, it's more so like a buy and hold, or like swing trade. Because if you're just you're like literally gambling if you're doing like shorter time frames and stuff, because it's hard to gauge if it's going to continue moving that direction, or if it's going to pull back, stop you out, then continue back up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, true. Hey, so what trades are you guys in right now besides the one you're about to call?
We're currently in we're in odd CHF, odd JPY, both in buys for those. CAD JPY for a buy. Right now, I just call this NZD JPY for a buy. We got this GU for a buy, and this GU's been bro, I was looking at this all last week. We almost hit TP like 2-3 times right here. We're only off by like 4 pips, maybe 3 pips, and then it just drops and then it comes right back up. So I'm trying to see what's going to happen with this, but that's another one that we're in right here. We've been in this trade since the 22nd, so like last week, and then our last trade right here, USD CHF, that's what's called last night. It hit TP1 and then it shot right back up after that CHF news.
Oh wow!
So we'll see how that plays out. Hit TP1 right here for 10 pips, and then it shot right back up because we had Euro news at 3, and we had the OPEC news all morning. So that's pretty much all we got right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades active right now currently. Let's see, I'm gonna put this at. Let's set up these alerts. See if there's any other trades available too. I don't think there is very much.
Yeah, the market is in it's stuck in consolidation right now, so I don't know, I'm just chilling right now until the market picks back up. Hope we draw a London session or tomorrow, tomorrow morning during New York session.
Yeah, I'm not really trying to force anything right now, especially with how everything's moving. But it's like not everyone understands that, it sucks because I try to explain this to everybody. Sometimes it's, the best trade sometimes is no trade, really.
Great.
You never really know. Adam, is Adam in here? Adam Hart. Adam asked me if I'm entering this trade right now or if I am waiting for them to fill. And the thing is, I'm waiting for these to fill. So here's one thing, guys. If you guys are copying my trades, if it says buy stop, that means buy stop. That doesn't mean market entry. If I wanted you guys to enter market entry, it would say market entry there. So a lot of people get confused and they ask me if they should be in the trade already. Thing is, it's a buy stop entry. It hasn't filled the trade yet. So you shouldn't be in this trade just yet. And this is what I mean about following directions, guys, because a lot of people don't follow directions. It says buy stop for a reason. If it says buy stop, put a buy stop order. It's a pending orders. This doesn't mean to enter market entry. If you look at any of my trades, I never say to enter market entry, guys. So there should be no confusion there, whether it's a market entry or if it's a pending order, because obviously it's a buy stop, so it's a pending order. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of people don't follow, the signal. It's pretty detailed right there. But it should, if it says buy stop, put a buy stop. If it says buy limit, put a buy limit. If it says market, then enter market. But if it doesn't say market, then don't enter market, because you guys are going to get into early, and then the trade might never fill for us, but then it would have filled for yours possibly. Oh crap! Sorry, Ark. Ark was right. Ark said there was a signal right here. Thanks for calling it, Ark. That was my bad. I was getting too caught up with this. Let me enter this trade real quick. So guys, if you guys want to enter US 30, you guys can. I'm going to enter it on mine right quick. All right, so I'm in the trade, guys. If you guys want to enter the trade, feel free. I'm going to send this to the premium group right now. So let me go ahead and send this over here. Thanks, Art, for calling that out. I wasn't even paying attention. Art's the man. Let's see, buy US 30. Buy stop entry. Guys, you guys got to remember, use the exit strategy, guys, because we're not sure how the market's going to be moving for the rest of the day. You guys can thank Art for that, because I almost missed this call.
Thanks, Art.
Right there. And then let me see. I'm going to put in the FTMO parameters. 548. We got those right there. All right, so if you guys are in the premium, you guys got all the parameters right there. If not, you guys can just see on the screen where the entries are. Obviously the people in the premium are going to get priority over my trades. So if you guys want the trades real time, join the premium. If not, you guys can still see them right here on the chart. You guys just aren't going to get the exact parameters right away like everyone else. So there we go, guys. We're in US 30. Let me go ahead and set my a little alerts right here. Currently in profit. Modify this a little bit. I got my TP set up. There we go. We're in profit, guys. Modify that right there. If you guys are messaging me on the Telegram, obviously I'm kind of busy right now, so I can't get to you guys right away. So if you guys have questions and you guys are live, just put the questions here in the chat, because I'm getting a bunch of messages right now. I got like 13 messages, but I can't. You know, we're trading right now, so I can't take a look at your messages just yet. So I'm not ignoring your messages. I just can't see them right now while we're doing all this stuff. So let me just set all this stuff up right here real quick on my own. Let me put this in the alerts right here. We'll set this up right here. We got all this stuff set up over here. We're good. Got all my alerts set up. Now we're just gonna wait and see how this plays out. So the trade's active, guys. If you guys are in the trade. All right, let me just get through my messages, because that's my messages are getting blown up right now. Let me see. All right, cool. Ed's here. You know, guys, profit get some time. All right, so we got one question from Ed. I don't know if Ed's in here right now, but yeah, Ed was asking for FTMO if you don't pass but you're in profit, you get a second try. I know that happens with the verification phase when I first started trading FTMO, like back in May. But I know since then they've changed the rules a bit. So if you guys have any specific FTMO question, you guys should probably ask FTMO directly through the support. They're pretty quick, but I just don't have the answers for everything, because I haven't started. Well, I started a new account, but I never have to worry about not passing. So you guys, if that's an issue with you guys, where you guys just haven't made it a profit and you guys are expecting a free account, maybe ask FTMO directly, because I don't have the answer to that. I haven't asked FTMO because I've never run into that issue before since I started. So if you guys have that question, maybe ask FTMO directly through their support. Let's see. Some people are asking why they're not in the trade. Let me So here's something that a lot of people still don't get for whatever reason. Let me go to the images real quick. I mean, this has always been the same, guys. If you guys don't understand the order types, then you guys have to go back and watch the videos, because I explain this in detail in the videos. If you're trying to place an order, and for like US 30 right here, some people are trying to place a buy stop. It was in the negative when I called this trade. That's why it was still a buy stop. But if you're entering the trade and it's already in profit, like, we're above the entry, it's not going to be a buy stop anymore. It's going to be a buy limit, because the order place, is above it. So if you guys don't understand order types at this point, you guys need to go back and rewatch the videos, because it's something that you guys should know. It's something that you guys should know when taking trades, regardless as to whether you're taking signals or if you're not, because I've explained this a bunch of times and I don't mind explaining it to you guys. But if you're in a tight spot like this where we're already even profit, like, and you guys want to enter the trade, if you guys knew this beforehand, you wouldn't have to ask me, what type of order is it, and you guys wouldn't have missed the trade. Because the thing is, price was bouncing around entry for some time before it shot up like this. So if you guys knew exactly what order type to use, which not that hard, there's only so many options. It's a buy limit, buy stop, market order. There's only 3 types of orders that you can put in. If you understood what type of order to put in, you would have been perfectly fine. But if you missed that, if you guys didn't understand that, then it might be a little too late for you to enter the trade at this point, because you can put a buy limit, but I wouldn't if it hits TP1, because at that point we're already attempting to exit in profit. So just quick reminder for you guys, if you guys don't get it, then just look at the thing. Yeah, look at because I've explained in the videos. I've also shared that picture in the group like a bunch of times. So depending if you guys need help with that, which is a common issue for a lot of people, just go back and watch the video. And let me just answer the rest of these questions real quick. Another question here. Let's see. Yeah, Mark's over here. Let's see what Mark happened. Oh man, Mark cracks me up sometimes. Mark, I don't think Mark's in the share. I know, but Mark said I went the riskier route. He was driving, so Mark took a random position right here. He's up $615 in profit for US 30. It looks like he entered a bit early, but he said he was driving. I don't recommend you guys do that ever, but Mark's a wild guy. So let me see where I'm at right now. Actually, I'm pretty decent too. So let me just post this up for you guys. You guys can see where I'm at. Currently in profit. Our US 30 position. Nice so far. Let's see. Send this over to the other group, and then also to our indices group too. Mark said, hopefully FDA approved vaccine, then we're making good money. No, for sure, I agree. Mark is talking about the FDA approval for the Moderna. So if they approve that that vaccine, then we're going to see a skyrocket up because the U.S. dollar is going to go up. Same with you know, the other pairs as well that are related to that. $27. US 30 is
All right, I'm back.
Aaron. I didn't even realize you left.
Stop. Oh my God.
Man, you're over there taking a nap again, bro? You're really sleepy, man.
I was in the kitchen.
Oh man, what are you making me for breakfast, bro?
Cereal.
Cereal. Nice. Let me
Hey Shawn, hey, I'm gonna pull up on you one day, bro.
come through, bro. Whenever. I'm just over here trading anyways, so I'm doing the same thing. Got this extra desk over here. All right, cool. Let me see.
Hey, I'm bringing my sleeping bag too.
Yeah, I got a closet here for you, bro. Since you used to sleep in closets. Are you still using that closet over there at your was that your dad's?
No, I moved. I live in my dad's house right now.
Oh yeah.
Jack it up. Hopefully, I get my own spot next year during the summertime. You might have a neighbor. You never know.
Yeah, bro. I got a whole balcony right here if you need to sleep. Yeah, bring your little tent too. Let's see. Oh, nice. So Greg said, I'm in, guys. Patience. Yeah. City said, I want to signal deep in profit. Yeah. So if you guys took that early signal, that's what I meant about, you know, using Awanda data versus the currency.com. Sometimes you get an early entry like this right here, and it could be a good or bad thing. So depending on, you know, if the market's going to continue in that direction, because we did get a buy signal here, it was followed by this buy signal. So I anticipate this to have a pretty strong push up since we got that double confirmation. I'm getting a ton of questions now in the in the Telegram. So I'm gonna get to those questions later, guys. If you guys aren't in the live right now, or if you guys are in the live, just ask the questions in the chat, and you get quicker access to me on there. Put that out right there, because people keep asking questions on the Telegram, but I'm live right now. So if you guys have questions that need to be answered right away, you guys are better off asking me here on the live rather than you know, the Telegram, because I can't get to you guys right away if I'm focused on, you know, our trades right now. So let me just go through real quick. I'm gonna see if there's any other trades that are worth taking. I mean, this could be a decent trade right here. Oh man. Man, I don't know if I should call this trade right here odd CAD, maybe.
What's 4 TP?
What was that?
I said, what's 4 TP?
My
bad.
0.9523. See what else we got here. I'm gonna scan through these real quick, see if there's anything else we could possibly take. Doesn't look like anything right now. Late entry. EG, EJ, and Damn, it's being a nice trade right here. Doesn't look like there's any other trades, guys, for our Forex entries. So we're probably going to hold off on these right now. We do have 2 pending trades right now. We have Intraday Jpy pending buy. Same with the K² Jpy right here for pending buy as well. So, yeah, otherwise everything else is pretty much slow right now. Yeah, Shawn said NASDAQ is pushing. So if our US 30 is pushing, odds are NASDAQ is pushing too. So I'm going to take a look at that real quick. Looks like everyone's buying the dip right now. So that's why these are all kind of pushing up currently. Yeah, so like check this out, Deshaun, this is exactly what we analyzed earlier. Remember what I mentioned? If this price was to break this zone, which it did right here, it broke the zone about 40 minutes ago, it's going to shoot up to this next zone up here. So that's pretty much what I see happening right there. We still got our US 30 position right here. I'm not even bothered looking at it. I have my alert set up. So I think that's about it for that. Yeah, let me see if there's a... All right, cool guys. So I got a couple questions. So going back to K² Jpy and CHF Jpy, just a reminder, guys, these are pending positions. So I see some people are already in the trade, but you guys should not be in the trade right now because they're pending positions. So it's fine that you guys are in the trade because I do think they're going to come back up, and this is a pretty far drop down before it ends up going in that direction. So we have this whole zone right here for it to drop below before it actually continues to drop. But just to keep in mind for future reference, guys, that it's a pending order, so you guys shouldn't be in the trade yet. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are in the trade, there's nothing you can do at this point. But we will, we'll link back to that when we possibly hit the entry. Looks like US 30 is pulling back a little bit. This is fine, guys. Don't be too worried about this. This is what I mean about not watching the trade, because if you keep looking at it, you're just going to get more nervous and freak out about the trade. But the thing is, it's probably going to continue pushing up. Like I'm not too worried about the trade at all, especially because right here there's another zone that was established right here. So there's 2 zones actually at this low. So the thing is, it might retrace down a little bit before it shoots up, because you can see right here, price came down, it rejected off this point, then it shot up, then it came back down, rejected off this point, then it shot back up. So it might come back down a little bit to like this point right here before it continues upwards. So don't be too worried if you guys are in this trade already, because this could happen. This always happens like all the time. And we still have a couple hours before market close. So within the next 2 hours, we can probably see this shoot up even further. Let me pull up CNBC to make sure that there's nothing else that's affecting the market right now. Overall, I think it should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing really new right now that has really happened overall, other than it's slowly pushing up. So it's slowly pushing up right now. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how that plays out within the next couple hours, because what is it? It's like 1:12 right now at Eastern time. So we're around lunchtime right now, guys. So when people come back from lunch, it's probably going to correct back up. You can see that nice wick down there. So I'm not going to bother looking at US 30. I'm just going to let it do what it's supposed to do and just let it play out. Same with CJ right here. It's coming up now. same as with NJ right here. So just be patient, guys. I think that's it for now. We've been on this live stream for about 4 hours now, so I've been on this for quite some time. If you guys have any other questions, just put them in the chat right now. Hang on for like maybe about 5-10 minutes. If we don't get any other questions, then we'll probably call it a day for our live trading room. We do have a couple trades active right now. We have obviously ODCHF, ODJPY, K² Jpy, GU, NZD/JPY, and USD/CHF. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades currently active at this time. 7 if you're going to include US 30. And you have a lot to look at right now. So until the next 4-hour candle, which is going to be in about 6 hours from now, because we do have the swap coming up, there's probably going to be no more calls made. But I will be watching the charts with you guys meanwhile, and I'll be giving you guys updates in the Telegram. I have like about 11 messages I have to get through, a bunch of emails to get through as well, so I have to get to those. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to just reach out on Telegram. If you guys have problems being profitable, just reach out to me, because I can usually help you guys. There's usually something that you might be doing wrong and you're not able to identify what you're doing wrong. So if I look at your trades, I can pretty much see what you've been doing wrong. You're either over leveraging, you're either not putting the stop loss where it's supposed to be, you're not using the exit strategy. There's a ton of different things that you could be doing wrong, which can be an easy fix. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we're just gonna let our trades run for the rest of the day and see how they play out by market close, which is in about, I think, 3 or 4 hours. So we still got some time left. Just hang tight. I have my alert set up, so I'll give you guys updates as we continue on throughout the day. But until then, guys, I'll be live again tomorrow morning. If you guys want to hop on, I might hop on live again a little later to give you guys the parameters for the weekly chart analysis. Otherwise, if you guys just want a quick fix and you guys want me to send you guys a chart, I can do that as well. But yeah, guys, happy trading. Happy Monday. Hopefully we have another great trading week, and then I'll catch you guys in